Now, this topic is very important to me because there's a lot of things going on that is, should I say, unexplainable and unexplainable to the carnal minds, not to Christians, and not to people who understand the battles the children of God are, facing. But to carnal minds are like, no, marriage is not for me. Mm-mm, we are not. And then by doing this, we're jeopardizing the future of marriage. And if you understand which we're going to do, go back to, that God is very much interested in marriage. And whatever is happening out there is to jeopardize God's interest. I had to reach out to somebody who is very special, Jedidiah Peters. On Instagram, he goes by Tito underscore Grindin. He's going to be here with me. He's a fine, handsome young man, and he's a musician. He actually performed at the recently concluded Get Married, Stay Married, one of his hit songs. So he's here with me, and I'm so happy I'm having him today. At least thank God that a good man, um, um, Omined Ben, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank God that a good man is going to be joining me today, just like the last man that I spoke with last week, Pere, who was good. Thank God he's not like Unbreakable, that is always shouting. So we want good men. We want men that is going to impact and that's going to teach us something, and we're going to learn before the end of today. So before we do that, and before I bring him, I please want you to close your eyes for 1 minute and let's say a prayer. You know why I always like to say this prayer is because I want God to touch your hearts before we start this program. I want him to touch your heart. I know so many people are hurting. I know a lot of people are messed up. But if we believe in God, everything is possible. Because if we want to take the societal pressures and the ones in marriage and the ones from our children, we will just all go mad. So but we're holding strong. Thank you, Mommy. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much, Boniface. God bless you. So let's just close your eyes where you are and ask God to come into your hearts and ask Him to teach you the things to say today, because for some of you will be joining me, and to also soften your heart, whatever you're going through, tell God to please heal you, because you want to give an unbiased, comments and opinion, okay, not from the place of bias. So, Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for the audience today, for the thousands of people that will be watching this video even after the session. We want to thank you for them, Lord. We want to thank you for the ones here. Today, Lord, I ask that you speak through me and my guests, that will be a blessing to their lives, oh Lord, that will change the narrative that is out there. And whoever is hurting under the sound of my voice, that will ask that they be healed today in the mighty name of Jesus. I ask that you bless them today as they spend time to listen to this Christian discussion. I ask, oh Lord, that you walk into their life as well, that they live here with something to benefit from in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen and amen. Before I continue, let me bring my guest. Okay. Oh,
Hello.
God bless you, Statito. How are you?
Very well.
My
Good
God.
afternoon.
I know you've been waiting. We're supposed to start one. I'm so sorry. This is almost
No,
1:20,
no,
and
it's okay.
the audience were all here, and I want to please tell you that sometimes you would see their comments. Good afternoon, Mama. Your sister, you're looking good. Thank you so much. It's Jane. You're loved. I want to let you know that some of those people have little issues like that. Some of them are hurting. Some of them will talk off what you were expecting. So I'll just say, please let the discussion be between me and you. Don't mind some of the comments you will see. Okay.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
No future podcast. I'm doing disclaimer because people say it's not correct sometimes. Yeah. So that you don't go and, because that's how somebody came in that day and the person was seeing comments. The person just turned to unintentional born again. God bless you for the insult. God bless you for the insult. So please, I just want to tell you, don't, it's me and you. I understand them. I don't mind them sometimes. So yes. So we're talking about the future of marriage. Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you are my guest today, because I know a few things has gone wrong in the past. And just like every other person, you could as well say, oh God, I'm never going to attempt marriage. But by the grace of God, I know you're not in that category. Oh. And that's why I'm happy to bring you here. That you've not given up on marriage is enough reason why I love you on this, on this program. Because, being through so much, but still holding on to God and still loving God and still believing that it's possible to be happy is good, is awesome. I
Definitely.
understand that a lot of things are jeopardizing and threatening the future of marriage.
A lot of
So God bless
challenges.
you. And please let me give a shout out to those on Facebook. Thank you
Okay.
so much, everybody on Facebook. Peter, Chibuzo, God bless all of you. Thank you for joining, us on this beautiful session. Give me a minute. I want my camera to go a little higher. Okay. I want to be able to see my head. It's like I'm too tall. I'm not seeing all of my head. Sorry. Okay. I hope it's better. Okay. I'll manage this. So, so having you today is actually a blessing. And let's just kickstart. Last week we
Yeah.
started a part one of this topic, and I had to spend time in making us know how our behavior affects marriages and a lot of things about us. Because I just believe before we begin to point hands on every other thing, we should first of all point hands at ourselves, right? So
Yeah.
I think there's this saying that when you're pointing a finger at somebody, you have a lot of finger
Four.
pointing at
If you
you too.
point one finger, you have like four pointing
Four
at you.
fingers. Oh my God. And that, in short, as a matter of fact, this is spiritual because imagine pointing just one finger at some other thing, and then you have four pointing at you. It means the fourth first is from you before any other thing. And even though we know there are other factors, at least we're able to talk to some reasonable, points yesterday, last week Saturday to, actually fix ourselves. I told them, let's fix ourselves first. And sincerely, when so many people were saying, hey, is this people? I said, well, you should blame yourself for not giving what you have to give enough for somebody to go out there and get that thing. And they're like, no, 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 it's not like that. So, but I'm still open to, corrections and discussion. I would start by being a Christian, which I know very well. I'm being prayerful. We all know that marriage has a very spiritual significance, and God is very much interested in marriage. That's why we're having all this program, because I don't want a society where people act the way they want to based on emotions and forget that there is something bigger than that emotions, and that's the God factor. He is interested. This is interested in marriage. So
Definitely.
let's talk about this today.
Yeah.
I know there are so many things threatening marriage, and I'll be so happy. I'll take my pen. I'm here to write down. If you want to tell us, like, what are those things you think is threatening the future of marriage, threatening marriage today, and is
Okay.
potentially threatening the future of it.
Okay. So, from my observation, a lot of the factors that threaten marriage today have always been there. The only one that is having a lot more impact right now is what I'll call the distraction from social media, right? So we had the case of pornography in the past. So in the past, what used to happen is that instead of people easily seeing, porn on their phones, there were video center, movie centers that would show those things at a particular time of the night. So before children could watch it, is either they will get the VHS tapes to watch, or they will go down the street, look for where they show them in the movie center, right? But right now, they don't need to go that far. They just need to watch and see the parents are not around, and then go on their phones and they can access that. So one of the number one distractions is social media, and the fact that there is so much voices that the average individual has to listen to. Before you have your parents, you have well-meaning individuals around you who will give advice. But right now you have a million and one influencers scrolling up your screen every day telling you what they think marriage is. Some of these people have no idea of
Mm.
what the scriptural elements should be regarding marriages. That's number one. Number two, which I think is one of the major threats to marriages, is the the breaking down of that family unit, it is a big threat to marriage. So when one comes from a home where either the parents are together but it's broken, there are some homes where they are there but it's still a broken home, right? It's broken emotionally. There's no emotional connection. There's verbal abuse, there's emotional abuse, all in one in that place. So whether a person is coming from a home where it's two parents abusive, it's still an abusive home, it's still an abusive marriage. If they're coming from a home where it's a single parent, that is also a threat because not by the act of the individual who is a single parent. Sometimes it's factors beyond. It could be death, it could be any other factor. But the point is, in every individual's growing up, that emotional balance is necessary. So finding the right balance, if there is a single parent home and it's only a woman who is raising the children, it's always essential to have respectable male figures who will impart the values. A woman cannot impart the values of a man. A woman can impart general values she understands to be what she should impart in the children, but the way a man will pass that over is different. So if the man is not there for reasons that may be beyond the power of the woman, get respectable people who will once in a while be the resounding board for the kids to see, okay, if I hear this uncle talk, I need to stay still and all of that. That's, number three. Another factor threatening is one is the general factor where everybody feels like once I reach the age of 18, I don't need mentorship, I don't need advice. I can live it as I want to live. I earn my money, I take care of myself. So who are you to talk to me and all of that? It's affecting a lot of homes. Then again, rushing to get married, that pressure. You're at this age, you've not gotten married. That's number four. Number five is going about it based on emotion and not getting God involved. I've made mistakes. I've been there twice. I've had challenges and I've learned the lessons I made, the mistakes I made. And I think one of the major things that was one of the challenges with me was I went in a rush in each of the instances, right? So these are some of the self analysis, knowing ourselves first before we bring somebody else. Are we in control of our emotions or are our emotions controlling us? If we are not at the point where we can control our emotions when it's hot, we can still be able to have sane conversations. I have anger issues. Please, you're not controlling your anger because you've not been able to work on yourself. So if your
Mm-hmm.
anger is controlling you to the point where you mess up relationships with people, you are to blame for that. So these are all the factors. But social media is playing a big role now because it's a big distraction. In the past, you keep the phones down, or there are no phones, right? So you interact with people around you, make peace where there's no peace. Things children see examples, you work at home, but now you can see parents talking to kids and you're on the phone like that. So that's a big distraction.
Hmm. Thank you. The way you just came, it's like that thing you just said now that women cannot impact values on. I know there's some sisters here that were like, the thing just ring bell like boom, boom, boom. What is this saying? So are you saying that a woman cannot impact values on
Okay,
her children?
I'll rephrase it, right? Women, what I was trying to say is that for both a man and a woman, right? A man can raise children to be responsible adults and the rest of it, but you cannot tell a girl how to be a girl as good as a woman will tell a girl, even if it's your daughter, how to be a girl. There are some private things that a woman will be able to communicate with your female child a lot more than you as a man. So that's why I said that balance is needed. So if you're a man and you're single-handedly raising your daughter, you must look around for responsible women who are like mothers that you will send them to once in a while. So those women will put them through female things, female language, female understanding of emotions, because you cannot raise girls as a man with our agidi male emotion. You know, a man's emotion is more of facts. We deal with facts, we deal with, actions and the rest. Women will deal with a lot more with emotions, right? So you need someone who moves on that wavelength to impact that. That's why I'm saying in single father's home, you need, even if you're not with a woman, you need, if it's your mother, send your sons there, your sons, so that they can once in a while get a balance of how a woman will react to things. Once in a while, even if it's a weekend, that balance is very essential.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, I think Starhood, we get what he's saying now, right? That the balance to raise children is needed. And one person cannot raise a child. So if you're a man alone, you cannot raise a daughter, completely. She needs women deal with emotions. And he's right. And men, you don't have emotions at all. Men are so rigid.
Oh,
So
yeah, we
women,
have, but we suppress it, I think.
okay, yeah, suppress it. Okay. But the women, we're the one more with emotions. Men don't, do men really cry, or is this women were the one that cry, right? Men don't.
So men cry, right? But this is what
Hmm.
happens because society says that
I've
a
not seen a
man
man's
should be
tears
a,
before.
well, it's good you've not seen it. So I'm sure if the organ needs to paid over something, he'll do it in the car. You know those few minutes we spend in the car before we come in the house? Yeah. Those are the minutes we deal and pack up all the things, the energies that are troubling, deal with them, then come in the house and start smiling all over again. So men cry, men go through emotion. And I think right now we are getting to the point where men are letting it out. You see Tyrese on his page every time he talks, he sheds tears. He's not shedding tears because he loves to put up an act, right? He's being expressive of what he's going through. And a lot of us men go through that, but we really suppress it. And then that's what creates a trend of emotionally broken men, because these emotions need to go out. They need an outlet. So if you keep them too much, you get pain and then you pass them on to the next person. So men need to do it. If you don't want to do it in the face of women, fine. But in your private time, when the emotions come, guy, cry, wipe the tears, say some prayers, and you'll feel a lot better.
That's good. No filter podcast. I will not bring you up. I will not now. So just calm down because my guest is still talking. Because I know if you come now, you come and distract the whole thing. So just let me just, this is somebody very reasonable. So you just wait. I'll bring you up later. So don't, if you like, shout. I will not bring you up. So wait first. In Jesus' name, just wait. I'm trying to also get something from what you're saying. Now, you said something very vital, and that is men, women raising children. And so many men on this platform, on comment sections, have said, don't marry a woman that is from a single, that was raised by a single parent. Now, is that an issue? Can you get married to a lady that was raised by a single mother?
I did do that once. It didn't work, but that is not a factor of generalization, right? It's an individual thing. I would think, from my own experience, I would generally, because I have two sons, right? I would generally want a woman who has had the experience of raising children, uh, because I am really afraid of, I've had a situation where somebody will show you, oh, love you so much. I love your son. I love your this. A son you spend like 10 years, the kind of pains you've gone through, the sacrifices you've gone through. I'll love your son. I'll do all of that sweet talk and stuff like that. Just get married. And the weekends your son starts coming around. Your son starts paying for disagreements you might have. He starts suffering, and he gets to a point where the child doesn't want to come to your house because of the ill treatment the child receives. And you see, emotions apart, most men who have children would rather want to stay alone and raise the children than put the children at the risk of being maltreated, right? So it's individual basis again, and I think there is no hard and fast rule. Though there's a general belief I have that dating courtship is good to do it for minimum of, I think now, right? The last times I did, I personally did not go through the long courtship. I paid. I can't say exactly it's only that factor that's responsible because I didn't date for a long while to really understand who I was with. I blame myself for that. But I also want to say that bad behavior can hide, we can put up a front for between 3 to 6 months. From six, you will show yourself, right? That's why it's always good to be a little patient in know who you're dealing with, know the person in their 4 different seasons, their sadness, happiness, joy, brokenness, richness, all of that. So
Mm.
so back to the single mother question. It is not a point of don't marry single mother or don't marry single. If you're telling women don't marry single men, you're also saying women should not marry men who are also single fathers, right? So that's a generalization. There are very good women out there who are not single because they want to be single, but because they made mistakes that made them end up with a bum. And there are men who also made mistake and ended up with also a bomb. So I think one of the important factors is the foundation. And before we get to that point of emotion, before we start getting intimate, we need to take time to allow God's clarity to come. Because see, we are in a world where right now sometimes the perfume we person rub outside, you know, go know whether or not the perfume they attract you. You would think it's you are falling in love 100%. You won't know that it's one very nice CK perfume that you are falling over. And these things have a way of working on the emotion. So if we don't put that relationship to a test through prayer, and I think that if we do it well enough in advance, right, we will avoid a lot of. See, there's a prayer I tell a lot of, when people come to me and say, oh, the relationship advice and the rest of it. Funny enough, I've been very good at that. It's just my own that you get as a bit. But one thing I tell them to do is this. It's very simple. It has always worked. If you're dating someone, you need to put that relationship to a test, not like you're testing the individual. You don't need to waste your time saying you're putting a test. Oh, I want to act like I'm broke so that I will know if she's going to stay with me or shit. That all those things are crap. See, you can be broke, right? The woman will be rich and she herself will act broke. Everybody can put up a front, and to an extent, they could succeed. There are people who have married their wife 25 years. They find out that the house they're living in belongs to the wife, and they've been struggling and paying rent to the wife through proxy. So that thing of putting people to the test, ask Holy Spirit to direct you. And the question is, tell Holy Spirit, if this person is meant for me, within the next, say, 3 months, please reveal the true personality of this person. It will never end up in a lie. I can bet you something will happen. Holy Spirit will reveal something you need to know, and you will know whether you need to go forward or you need to end it. So if we take time to do those, we will have lesser of the issues we are having. And then we too, if we check ourselves too, some people are from backgrounds where um, there are challenges in those backgrounds. There are patterns in those backgrounds which may be affecting. So at the end of the day, prayerfully going about this will make it work a lot better.
Thanks. Please, if you're watching me live, and I want you to please let me know if you can still hear us, and if it's hanging, because I'm actually watching with my other phone, Transformation World Ministries, and it was not moving for some time. So I would like to know if it's moving from your end, and if we're having a network glitch, because I know sometimes we're talking and it's on the screen here like we're talking, but other people say like it's hanging.
But
Okay,
I hear
Ben,
your
thank
voice
you.
very
Okay,
well.
okay,
All
thank
true.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, mhm. So, I mean, from
Before
what you're saying,
before you respond, I just want to correct an impression I saw in the comment section.
yeah,
Not everyone is a single mother based on bad or shitty decision. We need to correct that perspective, right? Not everyone is a single mother because they chose to put themselves there. Have you not heard about the case of the man that did everything, came from America. Why? He said because he toasted this lady for so long, she didn't agree. So he agreed to marry her and do everything, got his way with her. And then he now broke up and wanted to return that. Would you blame her if she got a child in that marriage for the man's behavior? No. So we need to correct that impression that every single mother is because she decided to be single. No, there are circumstances beyond people's control that make them single. Yeah, we know countries or some places where it's again, they want to have a child, put somebody on child support, move to the next one. That's a different circumstance.
So, you see some of all these men, they are not helping issues. They are the ones jeopardizing the future of this marriage with some men and also some women, I must agree. Because when I see some comments, I'm just like, God, are we in planet Earth? Or are we in some other planet? Because I don't understand how some uncles think. Oh, I don't understand. But, well, let's just, go there. Everything we're saying, we're trying to connect it to. These are the things that can affect people from getting married. And the people now are saying, no, this. We may not have people getting married again in few years to come. Now, to all those, I'm seeing all the requests. I'm going to accept you very soon. Let me just spend 5 more minutes in asking him something he just said. You said something that people hide behaviors in relationship.
Yeah.
Now, in a relationship, it takes two people. Which gender do you think is likely to hide their behavior in a relationship and unveil it when they finally get married to the person?
It's both ways.
Both ways.
We generally need to correct that impression that women are more badly behaving than men, right? We need to start sounding it back home and back. When I say back home, I mean back to both men and women, that there are really shitty men out there. A lot of them are badly behaved guys. Okay. And until we start taking responsibility and we start being the influence one to the other, I have had people I have met and then visited them at home. They invited me at home and I saw the way they were screaming at their wives. And as soon as we got out, and the first question I asked them, I said, excuse me, but the way you scream at your wife, guy, I can assure you that in this life, you will continue to have difficulty in life because you cannot be screaming at a woman that feeds you. You can't be badly. I say what you did to that woman now. If not me, I they give you food. Now only God know. But I will not be happy with you. And you need, as long as you are staying with this woman, you need to both be civil to each other. I say, please, you're my friend, though. I'm not, it's your personal matter, but I'm telling you for future sake, for your children, your sons, your children should never ever see you again screaming at their mother like that again. I told this man, this was like 4 years ago. Today, he always thanks me that, man, you remember that you were the one who told me to stop screaming at my wife. I don't do it anymore. I say, look, you need to make this woman feel good. When she's happy for you, this woman will pray for you. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. So there are shitty men out there. There are some guys that, and let's go back to foundation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who raised them? Apart from who raised them, I mean, like people come out of the best homes, parents are religious ministers and the rest of it. They go to school. Who do they associate with?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no single answer to the question of who is more shady than men, whether women pretend more in relationship, or everybody has a game plan when they're coming into relationship, right? Some are coming into relationship to have children. Some are coming to relationship for financial convenience. Some are coming into relationship for travel. Some are coming into relationship to find who to put on child support, right? So how do we know who is who when going into a relationship is the question. What are we two looking for in ourselves, right? Are we looking for a woman to make a home for our children? Do we love our peace enough? Then if we love our peace enough, then we know that we need to be the best we can be, right? But another thing is you can't fix a broken person. So if you see that this person is broken from the relationship, the person has been screaming at you like you are some piece of dog, and you say, oh, she will change, she's just angry, or he will change, he beats you when you're caught in. He beat me. He was just I did something that made him to beat me. No, you didn't do what made him to beat you. He beat you because he's a beater. So
Right.
these are the things we need to face. We have bad people on both sides of the divide, and it's becoming sadder because the family unit is breaking down a whole lot. So I watched a video just last night or this morning, and a rapper was arrested yesterday for murder related stuff like that. And one a tape was played in 2002. He had an interview, and the interviewer cried and told him that, please, in my presence, my brother was killed in the hand of my grandmother because of gang affiliation. He said, and within my community, 107 young men were killed because of this affiliation. You did this to me, I want to do that to you. He said he had to forgive the killer of his brother so that he will grow, so that he will prosper. He said, because if he went on the revenge spree, he might not be where he is today. He might not be alive. So this is the kind of environment we find ourselves. It's all over the world, right? And the question is, we just need to, this is where we really need to hone into God, to the Creator, to direct, because it is really, it's like the devil is on a mission to make sure he destroys the family unit,
Mm-hmm.
destroys the relationship unit. So it's more of transaction. And originally, it's a transaction, right? It's a transaction. Was it Jacob that slaved for 7 years because he wanted the woman? Right. So after you stay slave for 7 years and you get the woman, that woman, she must stay now, Abby.
Mm-hmm.
So so there are people ready to make sacrifices, but what value do they get when they make the sacrifices? And you that you're going into it, are you asking yourself the question, have you worked on yourself properly, your emotions, your anger, your bad behavior? Have you really sat down in the mirror and say, ah man, you're a messed up guy, you messed up here, you messed up here? We need to be telling ourselves, we need to tell ourselves those truths every once in a while.
Tito, you were a blessing to this program today. And I know that some brotherhood here that have that bad behavior you just spoke about, hey, they will not sleep tonight. But that is what it's about. Because when you cannot sleep, you have no choice than to start changing. Because now you see that men are saying, guys, we can do better. And women too are saying, hey, ladies, we can do better. Personally, the wife you get married to now, it's me that will give it to you. Personally, I promise you that one. Because
let
these
me let me
other
say
people
so
here,
let me say something here, right? So after my last divorce, I till now I still have a phobia for I have a phobia for anything. When you talk woman matter like this, me I
I
am
know,
like, please, I'm not ready for that conversation, right?
I
I'm still
know.
I'm still traumatized, right? Um when it will happen. But I don't think right now I am putting any conscious effort to want to be in a relationship. Or do you understand? I think I've gotten to that place where I've asked myself. So I've looked at it biblically, I've looked at it physically, spiritually, and I asked myself, like, okay, the times you went in there, what happened? So each time I had a divorce, the first one took 5 years of my life to get back, to get myself back to where I was as at the point before I got married, right? Financially, and this I'm talking about both financially, emotionally, psychologically, everything. 5 years. It was like I went through a valley of the shadow. It was it was during that period. It was during that period I had to remind myself that, listen, man, you need to get back close to God. Like when you were growing up, how you used to see the manifestation of God in your day-to-day life. You've lost it because you don't work out anyhow. You understand? So I had to tell myself that, look, you need to cut out any lifestyle that is not pleasing to my God, right? And I did that. It helped me. So I now enter the other one. A little bit of rush too. Okay. So I'm taking responsibility for the rush, but you can't take responsibility for how the other person acts or treats you. Okay. So it didn't work, but this was worse because I went through, when you say I got homeless, let's say, right? And where I got broken to the point where, like, okay, you have businesses. This one maybe say you did fine, and not even that during the period you were married to this person. Not like you were being fed, right, and all of that. You did everything a man should do. You even, I mean, me, I like cooking. I don't like cooking like an everyday chore, right? But I cook for my, myself. I cook for my children. I like that joy of that. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, you cut this one. Do you want to do this one? You do that one and stuff like that. But the mental abuse, insults. So I grew up where nobody insults you, calls you're stupid and all of that. Like, it's those are like extremes, right? So when you get to a point, when you get to a place where somebody tells you, I beg shift, there are some things that are outright, downright demeaning. If you are with someone who is from that kind of background, you're going to be in for a rude shock. You're going to be in for emotional highs and lows. You will be broken, right? So those after all of that, I ask myself, like, do you really need do you need marriage as a need? Number one, if you stay without marriage for 1, 2, 3 years, what will happen to you? Will you die? Right? So I got to that point where, okay, so I now asked, I said, okay, but Jesus was on earth for 30 years. Like, he wasn't married in the 30 years, and he was able to fulfill his purpose on earth. Have you fulfilled your own purpose on earth? This one, you marry a woman. No, if within your heart you'll be able to ask yourself, like, man, it seems there are some things I need to do. God has put in my heart from when I was small that I need to do, I haven't done. Then put it on a hold and focus on doing that. And then be prayerful. When it will happen, it won't be you that will even stress and be chasing, it will happen. Because at the end of the day, I still believe that a man has a woman that's meant for him. There might be 5 people who will match your rib, who will be your rib, or who will carry your other rib. I still believe strongly that God has designed it in such a way that there's a wife for a man. Okay? It is now you that needs to tap into him so that you meet that one and not go and meet another person's wife. If you meet another person's wife, you marry another. When I say another person's wife, I mean like she's meant to be for somebody else,
Yeah.
not you,
Mhm.
because your personalities don't match, your goals don't match. All those signs of you say you like football. She said, why are you always watching football? All those little signs, you see it, you overlook it. Oh, later on she will like football. Sorry, okay. She's not gonna like it later. So those are the little things. And if your man is a carpenter from day one, you meet him as a carpenter, you can help him to want to improve. But what if that's where he's going to have his blessings in life eventually? And you come and say, oh, this carpenter thing you are doing, self, you leave it. You want to completely change the man's path, or you meet the woman, you want to completely change her path in life. There will be problems later, right? So for now, I'm in that place where I think I want to enjoy the bliss of serving God, the bliss of not thinking about any woman. I don't want to be thinking about any woman when I'm walking. When are you coming home? I want to right now. I have friends who are married. Most of my friends are married, and all of that. I commune with them always. We talk with them. I advise them where they can, and all of that stuff. I want to pour into people while I am also learning and pouring into myself. Let me get to the point where I think I'll be led and I will know. But for now, let
Yeah,
me just.
true. Thank you. See, you're a good man, okay? And Unbreakable, you and your hood, you should learn from him. You're saying unemotionally ever, but you're still sleeping around, or you're still having, and that's fornication. You are sinning. He's not sinning. You hear what he said, that he's praying to God. He has not met any woman. So it's not like he's saying, oh, I'm not getting married now. It's not the time. He's not even saying he has ruled out on marriage. Listen, we've spoken, and I know the situation. And I can tell you that he went through a lot. But what he went through is like the devil just go bring one of his daughters from water. Just come. So yeah, deal with him. Because this is a man of God. His father is a pastor, a renowned pastor. So I want you guys to understand that some of the things you battle, You battle them because of who God has called you to be. And when you're battling them, instead of you to go closer to God and ask Him questions, you decide to run away from Him and decide to fight the battles yourself, forgetting that He said, I am the one who goes with you to a battle. He didn't say go alone. He said, I go with you, fight the battle and give you the victory. And you hear what he said, that he told himself that, you know what, I have to, see how you grew up seeing the manifestation of God, things that happen, miracles, and all of a sudden you don't live you have to go back to your creator. So all this unbreakable now, because I'm seeing you attacking some of my daughters here. Don't do it though, because he's talking to you. But you will not want to listen to the path of change. You want to follow the other side of vex, 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 vex. Your vex will not do anything. And I'm telling you, those of you that say, I'm hot, I go do this to woman. That's your business. So how long do we have to live here on earth? Take that anger back to God. And if you're saying, I don't want to have anything to do with the woman, I don't want to get married, you better not be sleeping around. If you're sleeping around, it's fornication. I'm just saying it. So be holy in that time and get to know, what am I supposed to do next? You heard him say he's trying to build himself. It's not like, oh, he's using this time to be wayward. No, he's building himself. And he's still giving good advice to his own friends who are married. So if they have issues, he's still telling them, no, guy, no, do them like that. In a nutshell, you are not bitter about women, right? Tito, you're not bitter about women.
So we're human. So once in a while,
Mhm.
so after my first marriage, right, I was really hurt for years. So one
Because you love
day,
hard, you're a good guy. He loves very well. So that's why he
so
gives up.
one day, I wanted to get back into the dating game, dating scene, and then I said, let me just research and find out what are the signs that you are not ready for a relationship, right? So I just put it in Google. Google, what are the signs that a man who was once divorced is not ready for a relationship, for a new relationship? And out of the things that came out, I just saw this emotional list of advice that came out from Google. Number one there was that you have not emotionally closed your former relationship pains, that
Mhm.
you still go and check your ex's statuses. You still you are still bitter. You are still angry with your exes. You are still trying to revenge on, And I asked myself, like, out of all of these points that Google is listing, which am I guilty of? So I had to really pause and ask myself. Yeah, I was still once in a while checking statuses. You know, I had still not forgiven fully. So I just said, if I ever try to get in a relationship with these points that I have not worked on myself, it was like a reawakening. I just realized that emotionally you still need to work. And then I had to take it, pray over it and like forgive. It was hard, but I had to like forgive whatever hurt was done to me. And that's when I found peace. And I called the person and said, see, I'm sorry there's no way when you and somebody break up, every party will have his own right to his own anger and bitterness, right? And when you are told, when God says forgive, when you want to come worship and ask for something, He say you remember that you have a quarrel with your brother. They say forgive, leave your gift here, go and forgive. It's not only talking about when we go to worship on Sunday. It's also saying that even the person, your neighbor or somebody you still have a grudge against, whenever you want to request of God, if you've not forgiven that person, you are pouring water on sand. You're wasting your energy saying you're praying. So I got to that point where I had to forgive my ex, call her and say, see, I have gone to God and prayed for forgiveness. The fact that we divorced self, it was problem. But I'm sorry for every hurt I caused in the course of that marriage. And whatever, so I've forgiven you. Please forgive me too. All the things you did. But you see, the point is, I had already done my own part with God, and I found my peace. So, um, I don't know if I've answered that question.
Yeah. So sometimes, only from what I get, forgiving takes time. but it's not necessarily. There's something I keep getting for you from you and this discussion, which I appreciate. And I pray so much that so many people who are hurting, they have the right to be hurting, actually. But I actually pray that they actually learn from what you're saying. It's not like it didn't happen, but did you find your way back? You did. And that's the most important thing in life. Things will happen. You find your way back, and you always try to find your way back. I know we spoke yesterday. I know we've spoken before, and I will still discuss yesterday. And I can tell you that for you to have this mindset, you are truly somebody that fears God. Because some people that has gone through what you've been through, them and woman no go pass, But I understand right now you're, dealing with things and trying to, work out things and your spirituality. And very soon, like I told you, now me will find a good woman when this is time, because you don't deserve to be hot again. But to think, no, 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 lie. Don't follow all this brotherhood. No filter podcast. God bless you. How are you?
Uh, Good evening. Good evening, bro.
I had to
Respect,
put
respect.
you
I hail
in
you.
the waiting room for a long time because
Welcome.
I don't want anybody to come and start talking left, left. You know, if you can talk left. So at least this person is talking right. So I like it. Ben, I will not bring Unbreakable here. I will not. This discussion is not for Unbreakable because he will come and shout here. So let him just stay on the comment section. I'm seeing his comment though. I'm seeing it. So from his comment, I will know if he's ready mentally to come here. God bless you. So, no filter podcast. How are you today? How's your family?
I'm fine. Everyone is fine. Unbreakable is always ready, Mama.
No,
He was
it's
born
not.
ready.
It's not always ready. Not that kind of ready. I define. Now you've been listening to what my guest has been saying.
Yes, I heard everything.
Do you do you love what he's been saying? Do you
Um,
agree?
yeah, I can't. I very much agree with a lot of the things he said. Just some, of course, I have my opinion too. It's just some of them I have a different opinion or perspective too. But he's on the right track.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to point out is so now I'm not saying don't put God in your marriage. I'm not saying, that comes first, right? God comes first. Put him in everything you do. But I think marriage is more of making sure you get those values you want to see. It's not so much about you can pray from now till thy kingdom come. If you don't look out for those values that should carry you in a marriage, pray from now till thy kingdom come. You're gonna get what you picked. You understand? And then that brings me to what I was going to say. So I love his perspective on the things to look out for. I just have a little bit of different spin to it, or maybe an addition to, the stuff that he said, right? I'll say this and I'll advise the men. If you really want to go into a relationship, find a woman that ticks the boxes for you, that has certain values. And those values should be values that you know that will carry you guys in that relationship. Now, I would say the biggest killers to relationship, I said that in my post before, I compress it down to two major reasons why most relationships or marriages break up. And number one is lack of vision for that relationship. And number two, unspoken expectations. And that's where I'm going with this. Unspoken expectations, when you two of you don't sit down and have a proper discussion on what you want out of this relationship and which direction you want this relationship to go. Okay. So you need to make your intentions known to her clear cut. She needs to make hers known to you as well. So that you're not having different expectation and she's having different expectation. And you guys go into it blind and in the end, expectations start to clash. And then when you start to speak up, both of you, it now look as though, oh, I didn't know you had this intention. I didn't know, if I knew, I wouldn't have gotten into it. So all those unspoken expectations are one of the biggest killers to relationships. And number two is lack of vision for that relationship. Now, I am an individual who has my individual goals or vision. And the girl that I want to be in a marriage with has an individual vision. Now, once we come together, I take it like an umbrella, like this, yeah? So she's on one end, I'm on the other end. But once we come together, we need to for us to stay on top, we need to have a universal vision for that relationship, which supersedes our individual vision. What happens if we don't have a universal vision is she's chasing her own goals, I'm chasing my own goals, we're stretching it. And when we stretch it to a point where it can no longer hold, what happens? It snaps and it breaks. And that's how relationships crash. So we need to have that universal vision for that relationship. And that universal vision has to be bigger than each individual vision that we come into the relationship with. Now, I think these two components are the biggest killers to relationship, even bigger than financial problems or infidelity problems. A lot of people think infidelity and finances are the biggest killers, but overwhelmingly, it's not. So it's just these two things when people don't really communicate what they want and all of that. Now, one thing I want to add is that, like I was saying, men need to look out for certain things before going into marriage. You need to look out for loyalty. Loyalty is not only is she not cheating on you? No. You can look out for loyalty in the sense that does she prioritize your relationship above anyone else, even her extended family? Do you understand? Does she see that relationship as the most important thing in her life at the moment? Does she prioritize the well-being of that relationship? Okay, that's loyalty. How does she speak of you when she's out there? Does she hide you? Does she hide you? Or is she proud to speak of you and the relationship to her friends and even to family members? So these things are where loyalty comes in, right? Another thing people should look out for is her ability, and this one is very, very important, her ability to balance three things. And those three things are being self-sufficient, being independent, and being interdependent. Now, in this day and age, a lot of women run around saying, I'm independent, and that's where they get it wrong. Us men, we don't really appreciate women who run around saying that they are Miss Independent. But we can appreciate a woman that is self-sufficient. And the difference is being self-sufficient is that you can afford what you want. Yeah, you can buy yourself a new wig, you can buy yourself a good shoe, you can buy yourself a handbag. That's you being self-sufficient. You can pay your rent. But once you say you are independent, you are inadvertently saying
I don't
that you don't
need
need
anybody. I can take care of
anybody.
myself.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can survive on your own. You can, and that's a wrong mindset to have because indeed we can't really survive on our own. You know, the lights will go out. You need a man. The plumbing will be bad. You need a man. The roads you walk, all of these things, infrastructure that you need for your daily activities to go out there and succeed. You need a man. So
Now
you
that's
can't really
why
say
this is
that.
very interesting. This thing you said, you need a man, you need a man. We are going to go there, and that's why last week we spoke about let's fix us. Now we're talking about how other factors can influence a marriage.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you before I get back to my guest,
Yeah.
outside us now, that's me and you, our attitude and what's so us. What other factors outside do you think is influencing marriage right now and can actually affect the future of marriage?
Okay.
Or
So
say,
number
I
one.
don't want to get married.
Okay, so number one, I would say a lot of people let the family they come from destroy the family that comes from them. What I mean by that is influence from the extended family. That can be a big problem as well. You understand?
Mhm.
So your brother is somewhere saying, "Nah, I don't think I like that girl. She looks a bit too shady, too promiscuous for my liking." Your sister is there saying that guy looks like a fuck boy. Sorry, no offense, sorry, mama. Your sister is saying that guy looks like these boys on the streets, Yahoo boys. I don't, you're letting outside influence determine the course at which your relationship sails on. And so that's one of the biggest problems. And like he rightfully said, this
Mhm.
era of internet and modern day conveniences have also been a fact in today's day and age.
Okay.
Modern day conveniences and the internet era is the biggest problem. So we see things on the internet. You know how people will come and make and paint their life as though it's perfect. Now we are looking for perfect. You know, now we're looking for perfect in our partners. But in reality, there's no such thing as perfect. Everyone needs to self-improve. Everyone needs to self-improve. And I'm sorry to say this, and I'm gonna have to say this. I'm not a sexist or misogynist, but I think most 60 out of 6 out of 10 times, that self-improvement part is usually a problem from the women's side. So women like to tell example, I go out a lot and I do interviews. I do street interviews, even on my podcast. So there are times when I'll ask women, um, what do you want from a guy? They'll give me a laundry list of what they want. Then I flip it and I say, okay, let's say you find this guy that has everything you say you want. What does this guy get from you? Mama, overwhelmingly, a lot of them say, I bring myself to the table. You see the problem there? So a lot of modern day women are under the impression that they are already perfect. So they don't have to self-improve. And that's a very wrong mindset to have. Us as human beings, we're not made perfect. So me that is coming with a different orientation and upbringing, and you're coming with the same thing, we need to there has to be a balance. We need to compromise. We need to learn, unlearn certain things. We need to tolerate each other. There has to be self-improvement in the relationship. I am improving. I wasn't born to be a leader. Even though a man is supposed to provide, protect, and lead, I wasn't born to be a leader. But I need to work introspectively hard to build up those leadership components so that you as a woman find me attractive. And the same way, I need you to work introspectively hard to build those values that will make you attractive to me. But the dichotomy there that people don't understand is when you ask them, they say, I bring myself, I bring femininity, and I bring nurturing. I say to them, listen, these things that you're mentioning, they come with you as a woman by default. Femininity comes with you by default.
So what do you want
nurturing,
her to bring again to the table?
Okay, so those things I want her to bring additionally are the aspect of her life that she needs to work on and improve on. Those are the things I want her to bring. Example, it's not easy to submit sometimes. Submission doesn't come naturally, but you need to learn to submit to a higher authority. You need to learn to submit to the leadership of somebody you have decided I want to spend the rest of my life with. So you need to constantly practice that. So that and so many other areas that you need to constantly practice. And when you have gotten to a point where you are confident that you can bring these things to a man, you can bring peace of mind. How do you act when you are in a husband's home? You weren't born to collect his briefcase. You were born as a human being. But you need to constantly practice when your man comes in, take his briefcase off him, ask him about his day, all of this kind of thing, give him shoulder massage or foot massage. Those things take, there are things
So
that you need to
these are the things you
self-improve
want
on.
her to bring to the table.
Yes, you need to
They
bring
are
those
part,
things now.
part of it.
Hey, mama.
So you now, what will you bring to that table?
Me?
Yeah.
So I bring a lot of things. First of all, I'll be a natural provider, protector, and a leader, and I'll
But
work
that's
on
naturally what you should. That's be a part of you.
So
natural as a fact doctor. So what
so that's
do you bring?
what
It's
I'm
not.
saying, mama.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That leadership part is not natural. I wasn't born
No,
to be a leader. I was born
Bible
as a
say
child.
you are the leader of your wife. You're the leader. You're the man. Because
I
now
know, mama.
the normal
I know,
thing,
mama.
I'm the wife. I'll bring this one. I'll nurture.
No, mama. But
You
if I
told me
cannot
that
lead,
nurturing is not
It's
a thing for a woman to bring to
yes,
the
it's
table.
not.
So you
That's
said you bring that kind of
Mama,
thing
listen.
that is
Mama, let me
unheard of.
explain
So
it to you.
you are
Let
a
me
leader,
explain it
man.
to
You
you.
should provide. Now, why not
Mama,
provide?
Mama,
Not a
let me
man.
explain it to
So
you.
what do
There are
you bring
lots
to
of
the table outside the box?
let me explain it to you, Mama. There are lots of men that are not leaders. Do you understand? And that's because they've not practiced the act
There are
of leadership.
a lot of
You need
women
to
that are not naturals.
No, everyone is. But how do you? That's why the fact that you are able to give birth alone makes you a natural nurturer. God wouldn't give you the task of giving
So
birth.
has
If
a
you
woman giving birth before? Because we're talking about like in the marriage. What do you bring to the
no,
table?
but
You're asking somebody.
she has the ability to.
Hey,
You
you have
understand? She has
ability,
the
the
ability.
you have the ability to
ability
provide.
is not
What did God tell you?
a skill set too.
So,
You
Mama,
see, this
here's the
kind of
thing.
men are the
So
difficult
let
ones
me.
we are talking about. You understand
Mama,
now?
hold on.
See,
Mama,
you
hold
see
on.
why I didn't
Mama,
want to
hold
bring.
on.
You see this kind
Mama,
of people
hold on.
now.
Let me give you an example here. It's just like I tell you, I'm bringing masculinity to the table. I'm bringing strength. I was born with my strengths as a man. Do you understand? First application, I am better in that area. So that is what I was born with. So I'm bringing my strength to be a protector. So that comes by default. That's what I'm saying. So you are born as a woman to be a nurturer by default. But the aspect of my life that I need to work on, that I will bring further to the table, will be leadership and other areas. So, like I said, I
It's the
wasn't
other
born.
areas she's asking about. Because honestly, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Assuming our chick and we went on a date and I asked you this question and you told me leadership and the rest of it, I'll just see it like, okay, it's vague. Even for me that I'm watching, right now, it's really vague. And I've not really thought about this question she asked. It's deeper than the natural roles. Men, we're supposed to provide, women supposed to be nurturers, but what is the little extra? So I give you an example.
Can I explain the little extra then?
Okay,
Let him give an
please go
example.
ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Let him go ahead with
Okay.
the.
So besides leadership, the little extras are they come in your ability to practice emotional intelligence. That's another component, which is very, very vital in a relationship. And you being highly emotionally intelligent comes in when you are able to balance out the, I was saying something about being self-sufficient, being independent, and being interdependent. Now, you being able to position the woman in a way that she now has a balance to these three things makes you highly emotionally intelligent. And that is something I wasn't born with. But I needed to practice and learn and build myself to be that type of man. Do you
What is the
understand?
emotional intelligence you just explained now that you've been able to
So
do what?
emotional intelligence is being able to regulate my emotions, know when to act, know when to act towards certain things and when not to act, and being able to regulate our emotion, also being able to pay attention to our emotions as well. So I'll give you a typical example. So let's say she's come back from work, I've come back from work. I had a bad day at work, she had a bad day at work, but she comes in and wants to speak about her bad day. One thing that makes me emotionally intelligent is that I have to kill the bad day that I had. Just to hear her out, because women need to be heard and validated. So it takes skill set for you to understand that you need to hear her out first. Now, a lot of men want to talk about their own bad day while she's speaking about her bad day. That makes you lack emotional intelligence. So this thing is not something I was born with. I grew up learning about women, and that's how I knew this thing. So these are the extra values that come that I have to build myself upon to bring to the relationship so that I can have a balanced and stable relationship.
So
So
what are
when
the
we ask,
practical things that are outside the box that you'll be doing? Because you said, okay, when you come from work, you should understand she has to collect your briefcase, give you a massage. So if she comes from work, will you go collect her handbag? Or you see her from massage, like, hey, honey, welcome, you collect her handbag. When she comes inside, help her remove her shoes. So can you do that for your wife? She comes back
okay,
from
so
work, you
I'll
take her
speak for
shoes off
myself.
her legs, take
Okay,
her
so
handbag, say, hey, let me go and
Mama,
just, give you
Mama
a
don't dey
massage.
arrogate women and role to men. Oh. Mama,
Oh, so that's the
I'll speak,
woman's role.
Mama, I'll speak from my own point of view. I don't want to speak for other men, but you see, us as human beings, we're all born with our values, but we have different roles to play. You understand? We have different roles to play. A woman is supposed to do all of these things to you. Not that I won't give my woman massage. I will, because I give my woman massage almost every week. Do you understand? But run to her, collect her handbag, give her foot massage and all that. I mean, you can do it's relative, Some men feel they want to do it, they can do it, but it's
That's a
not really. There are other ways.
that's an
There
African
are
man
other
talking.
Yeah, do you understand? There are other ways you can comfort. There are other ways you can comfort your woman and create a safe space and environment for her to feel received, welcome, and all of that. You understand? One of those ways could be me making a favorite meal. It doesn't even have to be massage. Do you understand? But I just gave you that analogy
What about
just so
opening
a
door
lot.
for her
Oh
if you
yeah,
guys are
that's
going out? You talk
a
about
normal
emotional
thing now.
intelligence.
That's a
Huh?
normal thing. That's being chivalrous. That's a normal thing. Do all those
I think you
chivalrous.
try.
Mama, the thing you forget the fact that before she even accepted to marry me, she has seen track record of these things you just mentioned. I've been opening doors, buying flowers, taking out. So these are the things that I did from the get go before she even agreed to marry me. So men understand how to act with women from the get go, but women don't get it. Women only start to learn how to act when they get into the relationship, and that's the difference.
That's not true. Just let's let
Mama.
my guest talk. That's not true.
Uh,
Please, just
what was the
yeah.
question again?
We're talking about what a man brings from, to the
Oh,
table. And we're trying
okay.
to say, give some examples and everything of that.
Yeah. So it, it's a tough question because uh, okay. So in a relationship of both the man and the wife, I feel that the man should be able to he should be a safe haven for everyone in the home, and that ability to understand the woman's emotion, to be able to cater to children, the ability to be able to manage the home, uh, help out in the home. As a man, your home is your home. Your home is not somebody else's home. So it's not only your wife's responsibility, dividing roles in the home, okay, helping out wherever necessary, and being able to communicate. And I know women do the silent treatment a lot. It comes more natural with women. And sometimes they talk a lot more than men. We don't talk. We keep things to ourselves and stuff like that. being able to sit down when she's keeping malice to find a way to bring
Oh,
you both.
I'm not seeing a little part of your face like this. I think it's mostly out. Okay.
Oh, me, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's better.
Yeah. So, um, other things a man can bring to the relationship apart from the money, apart from being a macho, yeah, financial. I think that's a given, right? A man should be able to provide for himself and his family. Then number two, uh, your ability to care for your woman's emotional needs, being able to know when she's in a bad mood, be there for her, be a sounding board for her. Women like talking too. And some of us men, we don't like too much talking. It's a problem because women, once they come back, they want to chit chat about everything that has happened. But sometimes the men are processing their days more in their head. So being able to balance out the different approaches to these things will help also. And then um, other things that make a home run, right? If you're dating someone and she tells you she's having a particular issue with her plumbing or this thing, you might not be the one to go and do the plumbing, but your ability to be able to organize some of these things to make them function are also skills that men bring to the home. I know that in most home, women will always call electrician to do certain things, but men, we naturally can do some things around the home. We can fix things, we can service certain things in cars, that we can take certain cares of things. So I would want to look at it that way.
All right. Yeah, that's beautiful. So now we have. I don't know. Is somebody playing a device on the background? Um, no filter podcast. Are you? Something is echoing. Mhm.
How is it now? Is
Oh,
it
I
better
think
now?
it's better. Yes. So we have a population of people now. We're talking about the future of marriage that are blaming the high rate of divorce and you know issues in relationships to external factors. And some of those factors are, like we said before, technology. And another one is, I want to talk about like the government. People are saying, oh, the reason why women think they can do certain things is because the government is backing them up. Now, my question is, does the government negatively influence marriage? The government and the policies they have.
Okay. In this area, right?
Mm-hmm.
I I have a mixed reaction to it. So first of all, the
Mm-hmm.
government makes policies, and the policies affect marriages. It affects child support, child care, and the rest of it. Okay, and those policies, because women predominantly are the ones who breastfeed, nurture children. So most times, women end up being the ones who take care of children, and they get to be paid the child support. But I've also seen cases where, because the women are not adequate enough, the children are given to the men, and the women have to pay them the same child support. A lot of cases. I have friends who have friends that are the ones taking care of the children, and their former wives are paying child support to them. So, what do we say about that situation where the same rule that applies to men when it happens is applying also to the women? So, yes, it might seem that the percentage to which women benefit from this is more disproportionate to men. Yes, because women have children more than, they take care of children a lot more than men do. But I think when it comes to the crux of the matter, if you really do a percentage, you find out that if the roles were switched, it would be the same way. And there are men also exploiting the child support system to also get money from women. We have cases of celebrity marriages, and the guys left the women and they want alimony and all of that stuff. So it swings both ways. Um, the area where I think that we might say, oh yes, the government influences some of this behavior is in countries where women rights are prominent. So in those countries, yes, the laws benefit the women, the laws, and that gives them strength. So they use it. A lot of women, I saw a guy that his wife, he brought her, he had the house and everything. After a while, he said what she did, she took knife at home and cut herself and called the police. And she didn't know that the camera at home was there. So when the police asked, "Do you guys have camera?" He said, "Yes, they have camera." And they played back. They saw her cutting herself so as to set the guy up.
Wow.
So it happens both ways, right? It might be a case of, because women are a higher population of those who bear children and take care of children, so it will be disproportionate to men. But I think when you flip the table and then you see the courts in action, they jail women for not paying child support now. So I would think so.
So
I would think
it's not like, the system is why some women think they don't want to be in a marriage.
so. I think some women see the benefits that accrue and exploit the system. Okay, so some women. Okay, let's take for example the states. In the states, unlike other countries where men are more of the providers, women marry and then the men take care of the family, they take care of everything. Women more like, if I leave, what will people say for my children? So women stay there, they manage and everything. But in this country from 18, where young girls go out, they work, they can take care of themselves, you see a lot of them leave home and tell the moms to hell, tell anybody to hell. So the level of independence they have in such environments empowers them to a point where they feel like they don't need men. So the only thing they want from a man is maybe the emotional support, some for financial support. So I think in those countries, the expectations are different. So you can't carry the mindset of Africa and bring it to Yankee. It will not work because you're dealing with a woman that everything you can do for her, she can do for herself.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's plus and minus. It's yes, if it's a Christian home, right? We will say it's not a good thing for a woman to exploit those loopholes to treat someone unfairly, right? But if it's not a Christian home, they won't. Nobody will count. Everybody will count. Look, I
No,
have my rights. I can.
what I meant is it a good thing for a woman to say, well, you know what? I can fend for myself.
I don't
Like,
need a
is it a good thing
man.
that
Yeah.
in the United States, the the country makes it possible for the woman to be able to fend for herself with or without a man? Is it a good thing?
I think it's a fantastic thing. I think everywhere in the world we need to build our economies to a point where
Mama, that's
everybody
that's
can.
where I come in. That's where I come in.
Stop, let
See,
him talk
I'm
first.
not, I'm not,
I will
I'm
remove
not,
you. See you.
I'm not done yet. Every country should empower both the men and the women. Financial empowerment is a different thing from personality and character and behavior and relationship. So the fact that a woman, there are still women who are empowered in this country, even in Nigeria, they have all the money. If you see Ibuku Awoshika, she said at some point she was bringing more money than the husband. You know, she said she had a lot of money. She said, but guess what? After some years, the husband's when he retired, the oil well and the investment he had with some of his friends. She said all the money she has worked for her entire life, can it measure up to the oil well money that the husband is getting? But what if during the time where the man was not making as much money as she was making, what if she treated him like piece of stuff? That would have meant by today they won't be an example to us. So women should be empowered. We should train our daughters to be able to fend for themselves without a man. That's where the world is right now. But we should also train our daughters to respect their men in their relationship.
Beautiful. I love what you said. What do you want to say? Because I'm about to bring somebody else. Just say that's if you
Mama,
disagree. So disagree or disagree. Because this
oh
man now
yeah,
is a wise man, he's a good man.
Somebody say if we empower men, they will build a society. If we empower women, they will destroy the society. I don't think so. Well,
yes,
some, not all.
yes. Men build, women move in. That's the truth. But yes, I'm going to say it like this. Yeah, I'm going to say it like this, bro. I can agree with you to a certain extent. A lot of things you say. You know why the way I'm going to say it is going to be different from the way he said it. You know why? Because I'm not single. I'm not single, and I won't say it in a way that I want any woman here to look at. Oh, nice. Nah, I don't. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just gonna say how it is, Mama. The first thing I want to point out is that
Emeka, you should be ashamed of yourself. On this comment you're making now, shame on you.
the
Continue.
first thing I wanted to point out, Mama, is that, and bro, all respect to you, uh, and bro, all respect to you for your ideology and all that. You seem to have very good knowledge, vast knowledge about marriage and all of that, and I respect that. Okay, but here's what I want to say. Like I said, me 10 years into it, 2 kids, and I'm still in it. I would think that you would want to listen to me more. You know why? Because I'm still in it. So, yeah, it's the truth now. Now, the truth. Let's just face it, yeah. I would think that, see, they say follow no road now. It's just like saying, I mean, no road for you now, among the two of us. No offense, no disrespect, but I'm just saying, I'm sitting here, you're sitting there.
No
We've had
filter
different
podcast.
experiences.
No filter
Wait now,
podcast.
Mama.
You need to
Wait.
apologize to my guests. You know no road
What
anything.
did I say wrong now? Mama,
Apologize
what did
to
I
say
say
for
wrong?
here and you know road. You have to
No,
apologize to my guests.
it just be like that now, Mama, because we be two people
No
get
filter
different.
podcast. Apologize
Okay,
to my
all
guests
right.
for your
No,
statement.
and I said no offense, yeah? And I said no offense. So, apologies
No
to you,
filter
no hard feelings.
podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Apologize to my guests and say I am sorry for making that statement.
Okay, I am sorry for making that statement, bro. But the
No
point
problem,
is, what
man.
I'm trying to say here is that, yeah, I am into it, yeah? And I think to an extent, I think I would say I know better. When it comes to empowering women, I'm not saying women shouldn't have power. I'm not saying they already have too much power anyway. But women have had these fights since 100 years ago. They won. 100 years later, fast forward till now, nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is they keep using their power to suppress men, acting like they're in a competition with men. Nothing has changed in terms of work, in terms of building society. Nothing has changed. If you look at the STEM industry, the science, technology, and mathematics is still male-dominated industries. Women have not taken over by any chance. They are still more in the academic system, and when they finish, where do they go? Modeling, makeup, influencer, content creators. That's what it is. Men are still going to do the hard labor job. So all of that fight you people fought for 100 years after, nothing has changed. That's one thing I want to point out. Two, we keep doing this sensitized girl child, give girl more power, give me. What has it really done for the society? Nothing, Mama. Let's be realistic. What has it really done? And I agree with that person that said when men have power, they build society. See, men have power to build society. Women have power to deal with men. And that's the reality of the world we live in. Like what he said, now. Let me use
I
what he
know
said
you
as a
just come and
practical
say
example,
nonsense
yeah?
in this place.
No,
Jesus
let me
Christ.
use what he said as practical example. He said women have manipulated the system to a point where I'm coming, but to a point where they use it as a weapon. But that is true. That's what we see in this day and age, right? They use it as a weapon, right, against the men. Any small thing, they don't divorce. Any small thing. No wonder divorce, I'm coming, boy. No wonder divorce rate is high, and women are the one that orchestrates most of the divorce. Now, I'm not saying it's the women's fault entirely in the marriage, but the ones that are calling the lawyers and say, I want a divorce, overwhelmingly women. So now, not to even say much about women before they say are the sexist, but what I'm trying to say is it's not a good thing that women have all those power and all those leverage and all those privileges, right? Because what they are now using it to do is like it is killing the nuclear family. Patriarchy is now slowly going into decline, and you can see why, especially in the Western country, the divorce rate is going sky high. Because now women are no longer staying at home and raising children. They are going out in the workforce because the society has lied to them that they can do everything a man can do. And that's the problem right there. Women are not built to do everything a man can do. They are built to do everything a man cannot do. And that's why we need each other to coexist so that we can come together and make something beautiful. But society has lied to women, especially in the Western culture, that they can step up and do exactly what men can do. And now men are looking at it like, okay, muscle girl, go ahead. Go do your thing. And that's why a lot of them are coming out singing and Miss Independent. And that's where I was trying to draw the line. And that's why I drew the line between calling yourself Miss Independent and being self-sufficient. So those are two different things. Yes, we want to empower women to the point where they are
What are those
self-sufficient.
things
That's the
that a woman
that's the
cannot
point
do?
I was making. Empowerment to self-sufficiency.
But the way you put them now, you see why I was trying to correct you put
No.
it like
Of course, it's not to rule over the man, but women should. In short, what are those things that men cannot do?
Financial self-sufficiency.
what, Mama, what did you say?
What are those things that
Mama,
men cannot do that a woman were meant, built to do? or meant to do?
Okay, example. I'll give you one example. Men are not natural multitaskers, right? So if a man is doing one thing, he's focused on that thing. Example, if a man is watching football game or he's playing video game, all of his focus and his might are invested in that thing he's doing, right? At that time, it's not a good time for any lady to want to come and have a conversation. Honey, let's talk. When I'm playing video game or when I'm watching my football team lose, at that time, a man is invested in that thing he's doing. But women are natural multitaskers. A woman is carrying a child on her back, she's cooking, she's on the phone to her husband, she's sweeping the floor, all of it. God bless you people in that area, right? Women are very tidy and very careful in that regards, okay?
So in
Men
the
are not.
society,
Now,
okay, it's a woman's job or what she's because everything you said now is centered in the home. Now, what are
yeah,
the women built or meant to do in the society? Since you said they are not meant to do what a man
yeah,
can do, they are
yeah.
meant to do what a
So,
man cannot do. Is it just in
okay,
the home or also to the society?
okay, so Mama, the reason I always take it back from the root cause, which is the home, is that charity begins at home. You won't be useful as a woman in the society if you don't know how to be useful in the house. That's the truth. And that's why it starts from home. You take it back to the root cause. That's why us as human beings, there is something called toddler age up until adulthood. Because that toddler age is from home. That's where we start to learn those morals that prepare us to go into the adulthood and be useful to the society. And that's just the same way it is in the society. Women need to start getting their morals and their values right from the home so
Which
that
of
when they go out
the
there,
home? Is it the
they
home
can
with the parent
protect.
like you grew up or the
Yes.
home of marriage?
No, the home with the parents.
Then
The
is
home,
it
it starts with the
yeah,
home.
but that morals were taught to you and the girl child, right? In the home.
But unfortunately they lost their way because society keeps telling them wrong. Do you understand? Society keeps telling them wrong, and now they lost their ways. And you know, women are easily gullible and easy to manipulate, and that's what's going on now. Mama, I'm not saying this to throw shade, but that's the truth. Hey, look at feminism now. See the way women bought into it. Hey, but look at what it's doing. It's killing patriarchy. It's killing
Let
the
me tell
nuclear
you,
families.
do you know why the world is in a mess?
Why?
Because the
I'm
leaders of the
coming.
world are men. Change all the world leaders and give it to women to rule for 2 years. We will have a better society. We'll have better countries. We'll have
Mama,
better
you think so?
economy. We'll have
That
better
one,
everything.
I don't agree
Because
with that one. No.
we are naturals. We are naturals. I know, like what we're saying, everyone doesn't have to agree. But this guy is annoying us. How can he just come and relegate women to we they destroy, we can't build?
They are, they are,
No.
they
You are
are,
saying
they are.
men are leaders. Look at how failed the whole world is. From the US to Nigeria, men have failed everywhere. You have
Mommy,
failed us.
Mama, do you
Men, you
know?
have
Do you
failed the
know?
whole
Mama,
nation.
do you know?
Everybody is hungry.
Can you give me an
Everybody
example
is
of
hungry.
any
Our
time?
children are hungry. The school system is messed
Mama,
up.
Women,
And
Mama,
men
women
are the
can,
ones
listen.
there.
women can
Mama,
run
Mama,
country.
listen.
Oh. That one is.
Tell
Can
me
you
one
tell
place that
me,
a man has succeeded.
Mama,
Tell me one place
Mama,
that a
there's no
woman will be a
time.
better president, but not in
Mama,
the US. In this US,
there's
I'm
no
sorry,
time.
I prefer
Mama,
Trump because he, as a Christian, I think I prefer Trump.
okay.
But women will be better world leaders. Let us
Mama,
shift all the
first
men
of all,
aside for
in,
4 years.
in
Give a woman
should
4 years,
vote.
they will
Let
transform the
alone
world.
being world leaders.
The world
in,
I
is
don't
Ni-
even
sinking
believe
because of
women
the
should
men.
vote. I don't
in
even believe
Nigeria,
women
they
should
made
vote. Talk about being world leaders.
You say,
Women shouldn't even be allowed.
they
Women
made
shouldn't be allowed to vote.
they made some women
you know how said.
ministers
You
in
know,
Nigeria.
you still should not be allowed to vote. You know how said.
I'm telling you, they shouldn't be allowed to vote to begin with.
You
Because these people vote with emotions. You
get
ask them
out.
why are they supporting Kamala Harris, they tell you because she's a woman. You want to vote in somebody that will come and decide whether I'll go to war or not.
Please,
Take, I'm coming.
so please
Yeah,
talk to me. This
they
guy knows
should
it's not.
they shouldn't be allowed. Mama, I want to leave you and your honorable guest, bro. Much respect. I want
Nice
to say
man,
one
thanks
last thing. Let
man.
me drop this one, Mama. Let me drop this one.
Oh, Jesus, I
Mama,
don't blame you.
it's true. I don't believe women should be allowed to vote because if you put them there, they vote because she's a woman. They vote because of their emotion. Oh, because she make. They are not voting because of the policies that they are putting in place. Because out of sentiment, and then you want to vote somebody that will send me to war and go and die. It's not possible.
So
Now
you
they
don't
shouldn't
want
be
to go
allowed
to
to vote. That's
war?
one.
Mama,
Where should you go to?
the women Nigerian government put in some ministerial position. If you see the magic they did with money, you will run from
Yes, now
you
they
run
use
from
that many billion they buy fuel. Mama, don't even say that. Mama, let me drop this before I leave. I don't know any time. I don't know any time in life, yeah, where women have led a nation and we stood the test of time. where matriarchy has succeeded. Now, let me give you one typical example. You see England, yeah, even though she doesn't outrightly rule England, she's just a ceremonial head. But guess what? England is the second most miserable nation in the world. So, Mama, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but women just can't get the job done.
Tell me what country a man is ruling and is succeeding.
China, Germany, should I go on? Mama,
Rwanda,
there's plenty now.
Sorry.
Rwanda.
There's
You
plenty
don't
now,
see
Mama.
economic crisis everywhere.
Abba.
Well, I think
Indeed. Let me say
No,
no, but they're doing great.
let me remove you.
Thank you, everyone.
So please talk to me, I beg. Don't mind him. Oh. Just no
all right.
filter
So
podcast that is.
when he said follow who no road in terms of marriage, I thought about Abraham, that God even had to bring a different woman. And so, and then he would say, well, Abraham is supposed to be a chosen one, and then he's having issues with the women problem. So, but that's on a lighter note. The issue of whether women can lead or rule, leading of nations is different from managing of homes. And I think that the original blueprint where men were kings, women were queens was for a reason. So I even think that still in politics, it still follows that pattern that men would do better ruling if we choose the better men than women would, because the conflicts in the world are more of, they are not emotional, they are not things you deal with emotion. So
It's just funny how
personally,
the men think like women, we cannot think outside emotions. So that's all you people know us with. Hi.
well, that's what you guys have proven over the years. So we are statistically following your what you've given us.
Okay. Well, before my next question, and I hope you guys are understanding the future of marriage. You see all these things they are saying is part of the things that is influencing it. People thinking that women cannot do certain things and we are restricted to just the house and and everything. They think when you empower the woman, you are making a mistake. That's not true. I personally believe that's not true. Then now another thing is we spoke about technology. We
Yeah.
spoke about the internet. We spoke about this. Emeka should not come in and say rubbish. Yes, Sunday, please. You're requesting me. You can request me again. We spoke about technology. We've spoken about so many things. Emeka, how are you?
I'm okay. Long time.
Well, welcome, bros.
The disgrace I'll give you today on this live this thing. I know you know the shame, but after I give you it, you run away.
No, that.
But let me just continue what I want to say first.
Okay, continue.
We have so much that is going on today. People are blaming other people for their own faults. That's why last week I said, let's fix ourselves. We've spoken about a little bit of technology, spoken about internet. But we know that the internet today, the social media, as you put it, is influencing the future of marriage. I agree. But the people who are influenced more are not the women, actually. And even if it's the women, a woman gets influenced from something that some other person is not giving her. Like I told us last week that when we try to put the blame on the government for providing for the woman, it means you fail to provide, right? I want us to get to the point where we can give something to ourselves. The woman, I can give you something, and the man, you can give me something that even if these other factors and pressures like the government, technology, social media is out there, there is no way it can take the both of us from saying, you know what, marriage is important. It cannot be jeopardized. And this brings me to this question. If we have a woman that has everything she needs, she already has children, and she has money, what else do you think a man can give to this woman and make her say, you know what, marriage is important? What else do you think a man can give? Not money this time, not children, because she has these two basic things. She has it. What else can a man give? And I'm asking my guests before I make her.
Okay. She needs a shoulder to lean on, right? She needs cuddle when the winter comes, which she has duvet. Duvet will do that one. But that emotional bond, um, she needs someone, a sounding board, a partner that they both will work together and build a home, right? What I think she has a house in the symbolic sense. So to build a home, I want to believe that a home is where you have the father, the mother. Yeah, we have homes where there are no. I'm just talking about like that traditional home where the children have a mother, even the children that are not his children that he's coming to meet. You know, he being a person they can look up to in that marriage and say, oh, this person is a father figure to us. He's a stepfather, but he's a father figure to us. And, uh, uh, the question being, what is the man bringing to the table? I think I find that question a bit shaky because it's a question of before. I don't think it would be, well, sometimes it happens, but I don't think it would be, he would just be the one that would be interested. She too would be interested in something too in him that she will be looking at also because they want to build. There must be something missing in her life for her to want a man, right? If she doesn't have one at the moment.
This was
So
not the name. Working was not the name. So now you know what? Why I asked this question is everything we think we can bring to the table that would want people to actually think of getting married, especially this Gen Z and the future, the next generation, has already been provided, or it's maybe already been provided. Now, one of the basic needs, let me go for a woman before a man, is emotional safety. These are the things you mentioned. Women like to be safe, they want that sense of security in their relationship, they want to be seen and want to be heard. You said it exactly like that. Validation and appreciation. Women want to tell them you're beautiful. And we live in a world where these things are lacking. Some people will come here and say, your emotions is not my business. I'm telling you, I've heard men say that here. Connection and communication. Women want that deep connection, want to talk to you, want somebody to listen to her. Support and partnership. Now, most of those things is being provided in the world we live in. Why am I saying so? If some of us don't have the God factor, many people in the future would not think of marriage because all those things can be provided. When we talk about emotional support, emotional safety, they said the government is already providing it. And somehow you also said at that time that the government provides for protect the children, the women, and everything. And some women also get their financial safety from the government. Like I said, I know some women here that are not married with kids. They are living in a house that is worth $3,000 plus a month. Of course, we are all in the you are in the US, Mr. Tito, and the government is paying for it. It's not one, it's not two. She's a single mother with kids. The government pays for those homes. There's one I know that has a special baby. The government gives her a check every month, I think 850 for that one special baby. And also give them houses, give them diapers, give them everything they need.
yeah,
That's a huge sense of security. A woman like that can say, you know what? I don't need a man. And then when you want to come in as a man and say, well, what about sex? Guys, somebody say sex. There are some dildos now that are everything. I saw pictures one day and I said, what is it? We should stop. I think they need to ban those companies that provide those things. If you guys sit down for once and listen and understand that the kingdom of God, you understand, is under attack by these people. But because they cannot attack the kingdom of God, they're attacking we, the creatures of God. The Bible told us that God himself says, you as a man, you go and cry. Even the woman, you go to my altar, you're complaining, you're wailing. I've turned my back on you. Why? Because you've been unfaithful to the wife of your youth. Okay? And I was a witness to that covenant. So marriage is a covenant. And if we don't start behaving better now, we don't give our spouses more than what this society and the devil can give them, we will lose them. And when we lose them to, if a young girl she say, wow, this lady is not married and she get everything government they give her, and she has a better sex doll, you think that young lady want to get married? Because so many women are scared of men and heartbreaks and breakfast, just like men too are scared of. You see what I'm saying? So the government now and the society we're in, especially in those of us here, which is going to also happen in other places, is providing some of this sense of security support for the family. We have people from social, they call them social department or whatever, that calls parents to check on them. Call mothers to like, how you doing? We just want to check on you. Are you doing okay? We just want to know, is there anything you need? You don't know, they make that calls.
Yeah.
Yes, when I had my baby, I have people calling me, are you okay? So you can imagine a woman whose husband has not asked, are you okay? And some other person is calling to like, are you okay? So I don't know what else a man can bring to the table if these things are already being provided. And
So a
if
man
you're
can
saying
bring
all this
discipline.
money, if
I
it's
want
really
to,
provided.
can I
Yeah.
No,
contribute?
Emeka, wait, before I come in, because all you want is money. So just wait. I'm just telling you now, if they don't give the person money, I don't know what else you want to give. So just wait first. The next thing is validation and appreciation. We don't have men that validate women these days and appreciates them. But guess what? Well, having AI now, you can ask AI, tell me I'm beautiful. AI is going to tell you you're beautiful. We are having robots now that are virtually doing acting like men or like humans. I saw one that this guy Elon Musk unveiled, and he's communicating back to you. So very soon we're going to have robots that have penis and can sleep with women. I'm telling you, I can tell you I love you. You're beautiful. You people think I'm joking. I'm telling you the future. It's already now.
It's happening already.
It's already happening now. That will sleep with you. We have all this, some of all these dildos right now that they go and put, it has electric or something like that, right? And it can actually move. So if you're saying it's stimulation, we have women those days or later in the future that will begin to have that stimulation. So if you're thinking, oh, I have this thing, coconut, or I have or whatever, banana, we are having creatures of things that would have them. And we are having things too that are moving. We're going to have robots that will help the woman do chores in the house. And that would give her good sex if that's what you think you're bringing. Emeka, you're hearing now, I'm talking to you. Very soon. To the next one. A woman needs connection and communication. I've said a deep connection. Some women very soon. AI tell me I'm beautiful. God's be laughing. Oh yes. No, it's yes. Say I'm telling you. So those men that think you can say yes, women will get it from elsewhere very soon. Communication, yes, we'll have AI that will communicate with you. How is your day today? Or you're welcome back from work. You know, was it stressful? You can imagine the AI having more sense than some of you humans. Was it stressful today? You say, oh, yes, it was stressful. Okay, can you sit down and let me give you a massage? Hey, you don't want to lose your wife. See, the day you lose your wife to to a robot or a dido, you have missed out. The day your wife starts using dido or or robots to have compassion, you've just missed out. Just know that your wife is married to two men. So anytime you're just on top, the woman will just do make you come out. She gets the better. I'm just telling you. So when we get to that point, we have to offer something that is bigger than what all these things are given. That's why we're talking about the future of marriage. I had to come this raw because everybody here is an adult, either married or would soon be married. So there's nothing to hide. I have to say it as it is without garnishing it. People use Dido often. Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, are you serious? Okay.
Couples.
But not couples, right? We're talking about single now, maybe wife or so. I don't advise it anyways. So, because if you use it now, you're sharing emotions. I'm telling you, I don't advise it. I don't. I don't. Support and partnership. Women those days will begin to see this support and partnership from others. And that's why we have an increased rate of women to women and men to men. Now, to the women, I want to come down to yours. Okay? Respect. We have to provide something that a society cannot give to the men. Most men now don't want to get married again. They say they feel disrespected, they feel devalued. Because you see, this robot I'm talking to, he's going to destroy a lot of things. He's going to work for both the men and the women. Because as a man, if you come, do you see there are so many things now that they are building that have the shape and the futures of a woman? If it's sex, it has it. Most men now are sleeping with those things, are not even sleeping with women anymore. A robot comes in, a man comes in and the robot says, "You're welcome, sir." You know, I know some of you don't even call your husband sir again. No. Some of you, I am just say, Ifeanyi is home. Ifeanyi, can we go? I say, you call your husband Ifeanyi.
That's old school now.
Jesus Christ. But is it good to call a man by his name even if he's your husband? It's not good though. I don't know, but hey, Jesus Christ. That sounded so odd for me. I'm like, by his name? But now you give him the name. So you see, respect, emotional support. Men is gonna also get it from Didos. They are doing some Didos right now that have the whole shape of a woman's this thing. So to those of you that think I have a big bum bum and everything, sorry. They are doing some Didos now that have big bum bum more than your own. What can you give the man that can supersede or beat all those things? I can call him pet's name, not sir. Hey, she's home. So you cannot call your husband sir. You have to call your husband sir. You say it's not sir. Don't call him baby, pet names. Baby. Call him sir. He's your sir. He's your husband. Why won't you call your husband sir? You see him now. Inbox me after this thing. I need to talk to you. Another one is intimacy and connection. I just said it. We are having robots. We are having systems right now that can actually provide that. A man's greatest need is sex. A man's greatest need is sex. And if we have artificial you know, stuff that are built these days to meet the man's greatest need, then I think the future of marriage is actually jeopardized. What are we doing? The system is working always to ensure that marriages go down. And that's why you see them agreeing to sex is not my greatest need, Mama. Story. Every man, one of your needs is that connection, that is thing. Every man must have that. So it's not like it's just one of the man's greatest need. I'm serious. So you guys should stop it. Somebody said on the comment section that no, I don't want my wife to call me Sal. There's one man also that said that any day that my wife catches me, catch me cheating, that's the day I'll stop trusting my wife. So I don't know why the reaction became opposite. Your wife catch you cheating, then now you stop to trust her. Nobody should stop to trust you. That was so funny. So we have to be able to, be in the life of our spouses and encourage the younger generation to get married by what we do, because the system is already doing it all. The system is encouraging men, be with men. Oh yes. They said the fastest way now to get your papers in America is when you send a man you marry, than send a woman you marry. Isn't that a lie from the pit of hell? Somebody was telling me, say, Mama, they say if I marry a man, they're not going to ask question. I say, what? Isn't that from the pit of hell that they are encouraging all those things? And somebody said that, when a woman is not married, that's when she gets benefit. When she has children and not married. So, and I can agree with that sometimes. Because me, I know how many times I apply for benefit, they don't give me. Yes.
So, Mama, there's a comment there where the AK Street said one of the greatest needs of a man is peace of mind. So,
yes.
I think one of the major challenges that marriages are facing and will face, in coming years is lack of respect. Anyway it's coming from. If it's coming from the woman to the man, it's trouble. If it's coming from the man to the woman, it's trouble. So that lack of respect. So what I seek to understand is a man may have, and this is from a point of observation, a man can have everything and respect his wife who may not have as much as he has. Why is it that whenever the woman has a little more than the man, maybe for a very short period of time, why is it that that's when the man's value goes down automatically and he becomes like an object that doesn't need to be respected? That's one of the major challenges going forward for marriages, respect, peace of mind.
Can I chip in?
Yeah.
Okay. Emeka, talk. I'm listening.
There is one question you ask. You ask if a woman has a child and has her money and everything, what does she need from a man? The reason why you ask that question is because you are a woman. Because I don't think that a man will ask himself, I have money, I have all these things. What do I need from a woman? And
No,
that
you
is
didn't
also,
wait for me to ask the other side because I'm asking both sides.
Hold on. Let me just explain like the difference between men and women here. That is also what I keep saying. When a woman makes money, she says she don't need a man. In response to the question you just asked now, what do I need a man for? Because I have everything. It proves my point. Then flip it around. When a man makes money, he needs multiple women. That is the difference between men and women. And another thing, you said women are scared of men. Women are not scared of men. They are scared of broke men. This thing I'm telling you as a man, because in this generation of our time, there are 4% of women get married as virgins, which means there is almost no virgin. Who are those girls sleeping with? It's men. The thing is, they are not scared of men. They are scared of the broke men. The rich guy, the guys with money are not complaining of men because they are the ones sleeping with like the whole chicks. So women are not scared of men, and this is a result of female empowerment. When you empower women, they make wrong decision. Back in the days, marriage used to be back in the days is the parents that used to give their daughter to a man. But now we empower women and allow them to select, pick your husband, select men as you want. Now, what happens is these women, they keep selecting the same men, the same rich men. They keep sleeping with the same men. That is another destruction of women empowerment, which I said, if you empower women, they take off their clothes. If you empower men, they will build another society. I didn't say this. I didn't say this from a place of maybe anything. I'm just like talking from observation and what is currently happening in our world today.
So, Emeka, you don't want us to empower women in the society?
Okay. Can you name me one benefit we have gotten from empowering women, from women empowerment? One benefit.
I asked you a question first. Are you saying we should not empower women in our society?
I'm not saying women has been empowered. Women has been empowered for more than like for like in Nigeria as far back as like at least 30 years now. Then in the Western society for at least 50 years, like women has been like let loose, do whatever you want. So in the last 30 years, can you name me one positive benefit we have gotten from empowering women?
So women are not beneficial to the society. Okay, Tito wants, let a man answer you.
Okay, but if you can answer.
Let him answer you.
I'll need Emeka to
Sister,
clarify. By empowerment, Emeka, what do you mean? Does the empowerment mean women being able to get money to take care of themselves? Or does it mean that women getting education? What do you mean by women empowerment?
Women empowerment, I mean by allowing women to come, number one, to come into the workforce. That is number one. Number two, giving them the right to be in political positions, to vote and all those things. What has been the benefit ever since we allow women to choose the kind of work they want to work, choose everything you want to do? Name me one positive thing we have gotten from women empowerment. You can also ask me that about men. There is nothing good. There is nothing. Let's stop pretending and stop talking about all this women empowerment. Allow women to do. Yes, the Western society has done it, and as I'm talking to you today, that is why their society is getting destroyed, because they allow women to be the ones that are making decisions in their society, and the thing is backfiring them now. It's backfiring them. They are in serious trouble as I'm talking to you. You understand? And another thing you said that a woman can lead a country, that we should allow a woman to be the president of a country. Are you aware that women by themselves, they can't raise good children by themselves? It's difficult for women. Number one, this is a study that came from America. Children raised by single mothers, most people in prison, most people in prison are raised by single mothers. Most girls that got pregnant out of wedlock are raised by single mothers. Most people that do worse in school are raised by single mothers. Children raised by single mothers are 4 times likely to be poor. So if women can't raise children normally, how do you think they can run a country?
So I think for the benefit of all of us listening, we need to clarify something. So the women empowerment we talk about, there's a difference between women empowerment and feminism. The one Emeka is talking about, I think, is the feminist movement, right?
That's women
empowerment. No. They are two different things. Women empowerment is where, in some countries, in some parts of Africa, Nigeria, they don't allow women to go to school. They don't allow child to get educated. That's the area.
Where?
There are some parts of the north where it's just recently they started to allow.
Where people are poor, they can't afford it.
Apart from poverty, in some for religious reasons, it's just recently
they are poor.
Started to allow
look
women.
At if it's for religious reason, look at all these politicians that have money. They are Muslims.
They send their children.
Wait, hold on. Look at the rich northern men, the rich ones. Their children, both their sons and their daughters, are going to school. So whenever you people are putting out this false claim that there are places that women are not allowed to, look at the condition. Look at the condition there. You see that those are people that are living below poverty level.
So the clarification. So I just saw a message now where someone said feminism means equality. So the whole idea of feminism, Sarah, I've seen some real feminist leaders who have spent 15, 20 years, women who spent 15, 20 years leading women strongly on the feminist movement. And then by when they were like 50, 54, 55, some of them came and said that they made a lot of mistakes with the ideology of that equality is not realistic, okay? Because based on the emotional makeup of men and women, they cannot be equal, right? And she said equality, and she said the only area of equality can be, okay, there should be equality in terms of opportunities, equality in terms of, in the place of work and all of that.
Opportunity created by who? Opportunity created by who?
Okay, I'm coming now. So, Sarah, so
because you're talking rubbish. You're talking all this you're saying is rubbish.
So the feminist movement,
why?
The feminist movement has actually,
I'll give you points now.
The feminist movement has actually derailed a lot of women who saw it to be like a competition against men, rather than of making women more empowered in terms of more education, more balanced opportunities in the place of work, and that. But in the home front, you can't bring the feminist movement in the home and that home will succeed. It's not possible, right? You need to leave that ideology out, and
I don't understand this idea. I don't understand this idea that we need to give women special privilege to empower them, to support them, to push them. If they are equal, if they are equal to men, why do we need to give them to push them, to empower them? If they are equal to men, if they are equal to men, they will just be.
Emeka, it is because statistically, right, the population of men in leadership is more than women. The population of men in politics generally has been for the years, but it's changing now.
But another place
really
Emeka, wait, let him talk. Because you don't listen to him to tell good points now. You don't
another place you're not counting. Yes, there are more men in power. Another place you're not counting is the entire world was 100% built by men. Women did not contribute in building anything you're seeing around the world today. So if you're saying there are men in power, those men in power, they did not get there because they are men. They got there because they are strong, they are powerful, they fought wars, they conquered land. So they did not just go to that power just like that. You just go because you are a man, they will put you in power. No, it does not work like that. Those men that built the entire world we live in. Those men that build the entire world. What feminism has done is they tell those men that some of them died. Most men died building everything you see. What feminism did is that they tell these men, you have too much power. You're in a powerful position. Now you have to reduce. We have to bring you down so that we can uplift women. If women are equal to men, when men were busy fighting war, conquering and building society, women will be doing the same as much as them. And if they did the same as much as them, they will have the same number of women in power. But the truth is that they are not built to do it.
So there's a question here from Sarah, who said, who made the women single mothers? So Emeka, I would want you to answer that question. Like we say, there are a lot of single mothers out there. They can't raise children, like you mentioned. Who made most of them single mothers?
Is the result of this same women empowerment that we are talking about. Because if you check 50 years ago, we don't know anything called divorce. We don't divorce. But as soon as they gave women this empowerment, as soon as this women empowerment start coming, that is why we are seeing this high level of divorce. And 80% of the women fight for divorce 80% of the time. So they are the ones leaving the marriage, not the men.
I have some back-to-back questions now I want to ask you. We're talking about empowerment. Should the woman go to school?
If they want.
Should a woman go to school?
If they want to go to school, they go to school, but their schooling is not like, there's no reward there. You understand? But if they want to go to school, they should go to school.
Emeka, how can you in 2024 say there's no reward in women going to school?
Name me one invention that women has contributed in the last 30 years. One invention we see today that women has contributed through via education in our life.
Let me name some for you.
You need to do your research.
Emeka, let me name some for you, okay? I want to name some for you, okay? Who is the first computer programmer? This computer programming way, they give people money everywhere today. The whole nation now is feeding off IT. Everything is computer programming. Who do you think is the first person to invent a computer programming or a algorithm or whatever they call it? Who is the woman?
I've read about there is a woman. There is a woman in.
Her name is Ada, ADA.
Ada Lovelace.
So
Ada Lovelace, right?
And you talk down on women like this, so you know.
Ada Lovelace, to tell you that I know the person. Now let me explain. Those names that those lists you're seeing were published by feminists is a lie. There is the computer program that woman wrote. I can go to my computer, I will show you. Is a piece of paper. They never put it in practice. It never existed in a machine in any way. So feminists, a group of feminists that want to show that women also contributed in invention.
So feminists, hold on.
This happened like 18 something. They said they want to show that women also contributed in invention. They say she's responsible for computer programming. Now my question is, if really women are responsible for computer programming in 1800, when they said women were not given rights, how come we are not seeing women today inventing anything? How come suddenly women stop inventing measles, and they're not doing anything today?
Women are inventing, you don't read it. That's why. The measles you're seeing, this measles vaccine that you're seeing today. Hold on, no.
The list you gave me was 1800. That's a lie.
We're coming now. Measles vaccine, that we know what measles was doing. Sometimes even if without the vaccine, some men can go impotent or whatever. They have measles. It was not well taken care of. Who do you think invented measles vaccines in 1960?
In 1960, I am telling you, all those things, all those lists you see, this is another problem with our society today. All those lists you see, I have gone all through all those lists and I have read about them because I was doubting that how come they told us women invented things 200 years ago when they were oppressed, when they were not allowed to go to school to do anything, to work. Then Today,
it depends on the country. It depends on the country. Emeka,
every
even
country,
there's a list.
I'm generalizing.
There's a
Then how come today?
Shame
How
on you.
come
You
today?
see, as you're here now, you're the reason why most women now they'll just say to fact, why I cannot get married to this kind of person. Don't influence our generation negatively. We're talking about the future of
No,
marriage. Stop all these
I'm
things you're
trying to
doing.
call our generation back.
Stop all
I'm trying to bring
these things
our
you're doing.
generation back because we are lost.
Oppression is not calling back. Give people fair rights. Okay?
Women have all the rights. There is no right today that a man have that a woman don't have. Nobody can tell me one right a man have that woman don't have today. Not even a single one.
Emeka, okay, hold on. What do you have to offer a woman right now?
Me,
Hmm.
you.
any woman that is coming into my life, number one, any woman that is really you're coming into my life, we have something going on. You are very, very certain that your provision, like I will be the one that will carry. You see that your
So
burden.
if the government gives her the provision, what else?
Answer. You see that your burden. You see that your stress. You see that you wake up every day, they run, they go for work. Leave them for me, I go carry them.
If government
I'm that kind of
give
person.
her,
And
what
I
else
carry
will you give?
and I carry it without complaint, without headache, without problem, with smile. As long as number one, you give me the respect I want. I do it.
I'm asking
People that
you now, what if the government gives her
with
that provisions?
what?
You know, today's topic is the future of marriage. So this provision, like you say, is what you can give her. If something else is giving her the provision, like the government or some other thing is giving her the provision.
That is why once that one starts happening, that is why women will say they don't need a man. And it's not really when women say
So
they
what
don't
else
need a
can
man.
you give her to say, I need a man?
Hold on. Another thing, when women say they don't need a man, is a lie. What they mean is they don't need broke men. The more money a woman makes, she wants a man that makes more money than her. So when they are not able to get those men that are wealthy, they rather remain single and claim they don't need a man. I don't think that the thing is, when women say they don't need a man, I don't
Okay,
believe
is there
them.
anything else you can offer a wealthy woman?
What?
Is there anything else you can offer a wealthy woman?
If there is
To make a wealthy,
nothing else
because some people will not be poor waiting for you and make her to come and marry them. So there are some women who God has already blessed. And are we saying that if you're blessed and you're wealthy, you should not think about marriage? What else you as a man, what is that thing you can show other men or you can do to make a woman think I can get married even when she's wealthy?
If a wealthy women, if wealthy women don't need a man for anything, how come they are looking for men that are more wealthy than them?
Emeka, is there something you can give a woman outside money?
Why are we acting as if a man providing for a woman is something small? That's
what I'm saying now. Outside that one, what else?
To start with, you see, this idea that a man that provides, we need to question him and still ask him what more. That provision, when I say a man that provides, remember, provision comes with a lot of things. It comes with the roof under your head. It comes with food. It comes with clothes. It comes with every other thing you need to survive. That is what I mean by pro. So if you're asking a man, aside provision, what else do you have to offer? A man that has put himself in that position, why are we even asking him again, what else? Like he has done like 90% of the entire thing he's supposed to do. A man that provides has done 90% of everything.
So there's nothing else he should do.
I'm not saying there's nothing else he should do. Like, I'm just saying, like, when a man has made himself available and said, I will provide, he has done like 90% of everything. Even if he don't do any other thing, he provide. With that provision comes security, comes like everything you need to live. Then why else are we asking that man, what else do you provide? What else can you provide?
Okay, so see, Emeka, the question now before I jump to my guest, we are talking about a revolving society. There is nothing you can do about it. The society is revolving. Okay, women these days are going to go and get their things, and women are enhancing themselves. Some women are born into families where the parents are rich, so the we expect those women not to get married. And you cannot tell me that you're richer than some of those women. As you're here now, let's use Femi Otedola's daughter. She has money. If you are opportune to say, okay, I want to get married to somebody like Femi Otedola's daughter, who is already a billionaire, what? She knows she's not coming in for your money. She has her money. Like one of them, the copy has a Ferrari and everything. What else can you give to a woman like that as a man?
You don't need to ask me, because such we women automatically, they don't even, they say they don't need a man. That's why that girl is still single. The
But
other
that's not true.
daughter, the other of your daughter, just like I told you, a rich woman will marry a man that is richer than her. The other of Otedola's daughter, he got married to this guy that has more money than her. But this other one, the younger one now, she's the one that is running around. Like she feels
No,
she don't need
hold
a
on.
man.
The younger one,
that is the
yeah, I don't know if
difference.
she's married or engaged to a musician or something. And are you
Difference.
saying that the younger one, is the younger one that is dating a musician also, whether they are married or engaged? I don't know the story. But are you saying that guy
She
is
got
richer than
engaged
her?
and broke up. She's single. Such women
No,
don't get
DJ Copy is the
married.
one that is not married. DJ Copy.
Such women, I know the nature of such women that have money. Their nature is, once they have money, they say they don't need a man.
So
That's
you're
why
thinking
she's single. And she's going to be single for a
somebody
long
like
time.
that is not in a relationship or is not married because she says she don't need a man, she has money.
Like I'm not saying she said that. Look at the action. The action will tell you. Look at the successful women in Nigeria. Inedo them, Chioma Chukwuka them, Genevieve Unaji them, all these actresses that made good living. Kate Henshaw them, all these Uche Jumbo them. Look at them. They are single. Once these women make money, but you cannot show me a successful man that is single at that age that is single today. Successful men at that age, they have multiple women. Successful women at that age, they say they don't need a man. Not even they don't need a man because they are having sex. The people they are having sex with are married millionaires. The wealthy men that are married, they are sleeping with those men. Instead of them to find an average man and get married as their husband, they rather sleep with other wealthy men's wives because they want those wealthy men. And those wealthy men, unfortunately, only we give them sex because they're already married. You understand? So asking me what do I bring to the table? I know those women don't even want men like me. I know because I know a lot of people in Nigeria. I know
No, you
the
don't have
men
good
that those
character
I
now.
know
The
most
only
of the
thing you
men
think
that
you
those
have is
women are
money,
sleeping with.
money. You don't have good character now. Look at you now. You don't have good character now. You don't have good behavior.
No,
So why would they want somebody like you now? Outside the money, you're saying I bring promotion, I give money. You don't have anything good again because you don't have good behavior. Look
good
how you're
character.
talking.
No, I don't think that you're right if you say I don't have
So what else
good character.
can you give? You're saying money. Okay, now I tell you with your copy now, you fly on top of her head. That's just you don't need a man. That lady wants love and she wants true love.
I did not say she said she don't need a man. I said her action is showing she don't need a man. The same thing that happened to all these that Genevieve them. Her action, because she is single. She's like 30, 31 years old. She's single and she's going to, if time not take, she's going to be single like till 45, even like for the rest of her life.
You
It's
don't
a
have
reality.
sense. You will not come and say nonsense on this program. I'm taking you away. Because you see the copy. If she hears this, she will sue you. So, Emeka, you don't have sense though. You see, I didn't want to bring you here.
Look at
I want to bring you here.
look at the comments and tell me I don't have sense. Look at the comments now.
They are like you. They are your people now. What you expect anything better from them?
I'm going out.
The
Add
truth. Yes, she's
someone
saying
else.
the truth because people are the same now, the same genotype. Please just go. Let me talk to a good person because you see why I didn't want to accept you. Because you see how you are talking now. You're just be talking anyhow. Don't mind him.
AK said Emeka is an activist. Men's rights activist.
I'm ashamed of him. I'm tired. God will deliver some men. You see what we are going through in the society?
So you see, from Emeka's comments, you can see that apart from what Emeka being, having his own emotional reaction, I think that the sentiment Emeka has is a sentiment that, say, 50% of men or young men out there have now. Why? Because of the high rate of, it's like I said, it's both ways. Men are going through a lot in the hands of women. So women are also going through a lot in the hands of men. So the question of who made these single women single, sometimes it is attitude, sometimes it is wrong choices, sometimes it is the men. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the essence of the whole conversation is to put all of these things into perspective and see how tomorrow can be better for both of the sexes,
Exactly.
because we really need it to be better, right?
So they made themselves single. Shame on you.
There's a lot of pain out there, and you see is the bitterness.
Jesus
Everyone is taking
Christ.
that pain of their previous experience and taking it forward, right? So every guy who was hurt is going forward with his own trauma, and then meeting and saying every other girl is like that. I don't think every girl is like that. I don't think every guy is like that. Individuals are like that, but when you look at the percentage of people who are imbibing this attitude of I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. It's getting high. It's becoming scary. And I'm afraid in the next couple of years, say 10, 15, 20 years, what really will happen to marriages?
That's what happened there. You see?
Marriage is gradually becoming an endangered species. Let's realistically, because if you see the rate at which people are forming consensus, men are forming consensus that why do you need to get married? Why do, that marriage is an is a step. It's more like an investment that you are already going in 50% to lose. And men are saying that when you go into marriage, first of all, you're going in with 50%. It's like you're investing in a business, and they tell you at the beginning that you want to invest $10 million, and you're told that look, from day one, as you're investing in this business, so you are potentially you might, if anything happens, you first of all will lose 50% of that 10 million you're going into it. So that basis is making men feel, let me talk for men now, it's making men feel like, why do I even need to go into an endeavor where at the on go, before I say A, B, C, I am already potentially going to lose 50% of time, energy, and everything that I'm going to put in there. So the remaining 50% is now controlled by not even factors like you, it's now controlled by the other party because you have behavior, you have background, you have family, you have all of that. So if that is the reality staring people in the face, it's really scaring a lot of people about the whole institution. And I think that I am from the point of view that I do not believe that marriages are completely not working, because
Okay.
every day I come in contact with people who I see some people who've been married like 40 years. I saw a couple yesterday, and as you know, we're together. The man, he's like almost 70 something. The woman is like late, early 70s too. Like if you see the way they were laughing and everything, it gave me hope, and it just gave me hope that truly it can work, you know. But the approach, the thinking, the expectations need to be different, right? If the emotions with which we go in, the criteria with which we go in, it needs to change. And then another thing is this, in some parts of the world, therapy is not a thing. So a lot of people who need healing in both sides, men, women, guys need healing. Like if you meet somebody that you guys really like yourself and you have some unhealed trauma, you guys should both agree and go for some counseling. That like you should even be doing it on your own before you meet anybody, like so that you heal, so that by the time you meet someone, you both will be healed enough to have a reasonable coexistence.
Mm.
Because there is a
Thank
big
you
threat.
very much. Mm. Man, thank you very much for this. I'm unable to take more requests. I mean, everybody that's trying to request, I have like 7. Family Crush, Manish, Edo. I can't take more. It's saying unable to join. I think because we're fast friends, and so we're just gonna meet again next week. But thank you very much. I just wanted to please, concerning this topic, the future of marriage, I wanted to please say something to the women out there and to the men that will be listening to you on what we can generally have to do to prevent marriages from, how they say it, when something don't scatter finish, like come out from the surface of the earth.
Okay.
Let's, yeah, please, an advice to, make people value their marriage and believe in the covenant called marriage and hold strong to it, and not minding the societal pressure from man to man thing, woman to woman thing, money, society, and everything that society has to offer. Because marriage is what God, is interested in. So please talk to them, and to the men and to the women, and also emphasize a little bit on how what we need to do ourselves. As the men, what you think women will need to do, and as what you think men need to do, and as the women, what you think women should do to keep marriages and to encourage others to see marriage as a beautiful thing and not, a hurtful thing.
Okay. So one of the first things I would say is the energy that comes from social media is really, really causing a lot of damage. And I think that as individuals, and this is on a broad scale now, every individual has a responsibility to pass some form of value. Anywhere you find yourself, in the midst of young people, in the midst of, find a way to pass values across. Find a way to impact on someone near you, because I mean, you can't do it to the whole world. You could probably do it with your platform, but you can do it by little steps in the home, your children. Be an example in values, okay? And if we all take notes that all the laws in every country, apart from few laws, right? All the laws that countries use to rule, if we look at it technically, we find out that a lot of the country laws around are still biblical laws. They are still biblical rules, fairness, honesty, all of that stuff. So if we start passing these as the values we pass around, at least the impact we can make can start to spread. For men, I feel like there are a lot of broken men out there. A lot of young men are broken. A lot of young men have had encounters with broken women who broke
Mhm.
them further. Okay. So I would be a proponent of, for men, we need to start, you know, encouraging men to start building themselves up. I think for a good while, young men should be groomed to know that, look, you can stay without a relationship and still be complete for a significant while, right? I think there's a great deal of neediness. Everybody feels like, oh, I have to be in a relationship to be happy. I have to be in a relationship to be complete. Why? Because this one is no. If you're not happy as a person individually, with or without, you will not be happy when you get in, because it is the happiness you already have that you will take in there. So if as a person you are a sad person, you're always seeing bad in everything, you're seeing how bad everything is, you're taking that into your relationship. So
Yes.
I would be a proponent of saying, look, guys should build their intellect, build their goals, build it on that strong foundation. When you can find yourself in the midst of as many women and not feel the need to want to sleep with every one of them, then you have first conquered yourself, right?
Yes.
When you're able to
Conquer yourself first.
conquer yourself, then
Mm-hmm.
you will be able to be a better person for that other person. That's for men, right? So there's a lot of bad advice out there. We need to filter it.
And don't take
I'm a
them.
Christian. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
Christian, so I think we should. The Christian way is the way of the law. So anything that we try to do not to get in problem with the law, it is also God's way. Just consider, if you are obeying your American government, you're obeying your Nigerian government, you are obeying
Mm-hmm.
God's law, right? So why don't you just do it well and do it with peace of mind? You understand? For women, I would think that truly there are a lot of women who are hurt, a lot of women who are unhealed. It's not hard to know. And we need to, if you are a man and you meet a woman who is hurt, don't be another pain in that woman's life, right? Don't see her vulnerability like, oh, you can run over this one. Okay, the more you keep running over women and causing pain, your daughter will come someday. And
God
the
bless
good
you.
thing about life, is men who do women like that, they born women.
They get to get more daughters.
They
Yes.
get more female children, So I believe in fairness strongly. And I believe that a lot of women have gone through trauma and stuff like that. So whenever a woman has experience anything, let's invest also in that personal development of healing self, of going for therapy. I went for therapy myself, not because of anybody or because I wanted to be better for anybody. No, but just because I saw that that was a good way of mirroring what I was, I needed to talk to people who would tell me how bad I am or how good I am. You understand? So a lot of women are doing that, but a lot of women, if you have gone through broken relationships, do not be the influence on other women to break their own relationships.
Yes.
Like
That's what is
I'm,
going on.
I'm not married now, right? But most of my married friends, when they complain about their wives, I laugh with them, laugh with them. The area they are wrong, I'll bash them. Okay, you did mess up. You said, go and make madam happy and all of that. I don't encourage them to leave their marriages. In fact, I am not the person to encourage anybody to leave their marriage. I don't want to hear anybody is leaving their marriage for any reason. No matter how bad it is, I just feel like there is a way around it. So nobody is perfect in the whole scheme of things, but we are all work in progress. We all need to invest more in that self-development. And then, the praying factor too is one thing we cannot underestimate, right? Most of us who grew up in Christian homes, like father religious, mother religious, we later deviated. Why? Because we felt like we were missing out on a lot of stuff. But it was when we went out and then outside show us Pepe, we now realized that, man, these things that we were taught were not just for rote, they were not just for recitation, but they are really the things that can keep us for the long term. So it was after we become players, we played, finished, we got beaten well on the field of play, that some of us now decided to come back to God, not because of we are going through pain, but because that is the only way to which we can have that peace. In the world is very tumultuous now, right? There is a lot of emotional pain, emotional damage out there. There's a lot of vice, right? Satan is really working overtime to make sure that Christianity dies, that worshiping God dies, whatever form of worship you do, any religion you do, the values of those religions still align with what God says. So even if it's Islam, even if it's Buddhism, you go and find that the laws of the land still matter. So if the laws of the land say don't abuse your fellow man, don't abuse, even in child support cases, I hear that when you and your woman, you're screaming, police comes in, as long as you're screaming in the presence of children.
Yes, they can take the children away.
They take the children away or take one person away. More likely, if you're the guy and you'll be taken away. What does that tell us? So even in the absence of government, it means that you shouldn't even be screaming at your fellow person.
Yeah.
Like you should communicate we know emotions build up and all of that stuff. Those are the areas where we all have that responsibility to really like start mirroring ourselves a lot more caution, so that the impact we are making in society, we are not passing more pain, okay,
God bless
to
you.
people, because we the truth is, for every woman you get down with, every woman you marry, you break up with, that woman goes away with a scar that can be repaired. Every man that gets divorced once, twice, if you've gone through a number of times,
he goes through with a scar.
Unless the man goes for therapy, unless he really has the mind of God, that man lives the rest of his life afraid of women, right?
I have to ask you something. You have spoken brilliantly and godly, and I'm so happy you are here on this program today because I know we are learning. Now, there's something you said because I picked from what you said. You said that before I do that, I want to thank Joseph Pro. God bless you. He said I'm looking beautiful. God, thank you for the compliment. You see, you will make a fine husband. You see, he's a good man. God bless you. Don't worry, wife they come. All of that, I promise. You said as a man, you have to conquer yourself. That's discipline. And don't just think you just jump out and be with every woman. I love that. I have this. Let me just relate it to this question because most of the hots, it's somebody that is not married that will say, I don't want to get married again. Gabby, God bless you. And we don't want people saying marriage is not for me. So that marriage is not for me comes from two places, either in the place of the relationship that ended the way we didn't like, or a marriage that ended the way, badly, like you said, a scar. So relationship too. Why most people think, after all, I just relationship, I just date the girl, and it's not marriage. They can do anything they want to do. Is that acceptable? Is it acceptable that when a man is dating a woman because they are not married, he can have multiple girlfriends and cheat on her because they are not married? And at the end of the day, hurt her, just like that.
So that is one of the threats we are saying. Is a threat to
Thank you.
relationships. Is a
Mm-hmm.
threat to relationships. Is a threat to marriages. Now, why is it a threat? That thing about dating with options. Every man who is dating with an option, you cannot know the person you're dealing with. You have three here. Me, I don't know how to do it. Though. Some people do it well, right?
There's nothing like well. They end up shooting themselves. There's nothing well about something that is ungodly.
So,
Mm-hmm.
um, having three emotions. Well, I don't know how some people manage it. Like you have this one here, you have another one here. If you're a busy person doing that, it's really like multitasking at the highest level. So that is one of the problems why people get in and you can't know the person you are with because you're not there. You are in
With
three
every other
different
person.
places at the same time. So in the long run, it will work against any relationship. Like multi-dating, it's better you date 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You see it's not working, leave. Get jelly. I'm seeing this. I can't cope with this, right? And I know I can't change you. Move. Then you say, oh, you tag this person along 6 months, 4 months. Leave the person early enough so the person can go and look for somebody else that will cope with their
Mm-hmm.
character. If you can't cope with what they have, right? So
So
I
cheating
think
in a
we
relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend cheating on the girl or the girl cheating on the guy
cheating
is
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 cheating.
is, is
Whether
wrong.
whether one is married or not married, cheating is cheating, right? So
And it's wrong to do
whatever
it.
is good for the geese is good for the gander. So if you are expecting to be faithful in a marriage and you are unfaithful in the early part of the dating stage, you are not different from who you are in the dating stage. What changes is the title attached to you. So behaviors change, unfortunately. Some true. Some people act up well, like before marriage, perfect. Everybody would be perfect to get what they want. And then once they get into marriage like that, real character comes in. It happens a lot. It's unfortunate. It happens, you
Mm.
know. But that's why you need time to understand, know your values, discuss it. If it aligns, you go ahead. If it doesn't align, pull out.
Okay, is it okay to know those values before you start having sex? Because sex is a separate thing. Like, because some men will just supposedly sleep with the girl, and later they'll say, "Ah, no, be good girl." Is it good to know on the get go before you get intimate?
So these conversations, the conversations of value, people talk about sexual compatibility, and most times why people say, oh, you need to test the waters before going in. There have been cases of men who are impotent and then they conceal it and say, oh, let's just continue till we get married. And then, and then they get married and then found out that it can't work, right? By, by the laws of um, by the laws of the land. I'm not talking about by the Bible now, right? I'm talking about by the laws of the land. The law considers that as enough reason for a divorce. Okay? But as Christians, we discourage divorces, right? So it is almost impossible to know that extent very far, except you have some form of courtship before getting married, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people will hide who they are, to get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit of a risk sometimes. It's a risk. That's why in times past, before people get married, they will send family members to go and find out about the family of this person. Like I don't know if people invest that much energy these days. Like if the lady is in Uganda, they will find people they know in Uganda who know her family, who can get some, know about. Or if the guy is from one family, they'll find out that family, what's the trade. Parents used to do that a lot in the past. I don't. Right now, it seems like because we are empowered now, we don't even want to hear what our parents want to think about the marriage. So we just, mom, that's the guy I want. I go with it, you know. But the truth is, some of the mistakes people who are divorced have gone through, if they look back, they will tell you that some
They saw
people saw
it.
what they didn't see
Mm-hmm.
and warned them about it,
They were
you
just
know.
not careful. Well, thank you so much, for being here today. And I just want to thank everybody that's joined me here since 1 p.m. CST. This is almost 4 p.m. We have to run along. I hope you have learned something. Tito, thank you. I want to tell you, Mr. Tito here is a musician. I'm going to tag him to this video after it so you can go check him out and follow him. He's a nice, handsome young man. And I know what I'm saying. He has been here for my program, the Get Married, Stay Married. He sang his very famous song. Mm-hmm.
Thank
Go
you.
to his page, you'll see the song. I mean, he's trying to get it a Grammy nomination. Has the voting ended? The Grammy
Yeah,
nomination?
voting closed. Nominations will be out on the 8th of November.
Okay, the
Yeah,
nomination for the Grammy will be out, but the voting now has ended.
yeah.
Okay. I have to say, we'll go vote again, or we'll go vote again. But but he's doing so well. He's a musician, and you see, he's the calm person, and he's a good man. So thank you so much for spending this hours with us. I just hope that we the men, with the women and the men here, they've learned, and they are going to amend their ways, because after everything, we said it earlier that when you want to point hands at somebody, you point first at yourself. So now the fingers are all pointing at us. Let us change. The man that likes to give women breakfast, change. If you give a woman breakfast, you have sinned. If the woman gives you breakfast, she has sinned. If you just, you know, raise somebody's hopes up, up and thinking something is going on, they're going to get to a marriage, you don't do everything as a wife, and you just abandon her, you've sinned against that person. You have to, watch your actions. If the woman does it, she has. So this is all us, because everything like this that I'm talking about is actually affecting people's hope for marriage. When you break a woman's heart or break a man's heart unjustly, they are scared of getting into another relationship. And if they don't get into another relationship, they don't want to get married. And some of them like, no more marriage for me. We don't want you to get people to that point where they say, no, marriage is not my thing. And now we have people who are cohabiting. There's so many women out there, I hear them say, oh, no, we don't need to get married, just living together. You're sinning. Don't do that. Okay? Some of them are broken. That's why they don't want to get married, because they don't want that covenant. So it's try to stay together. So you see, there are so many odds against marriages. And remember that the Bible says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. There's some kind of favor. God is not a man that will lie. Yeah, we all can be favored, but there is this favor that comes with marriage. You get that certificate, you can go and meet God and say, okay, look at it. And then you get that kind of favor he's talking about. And that's why you see that when a man marries a good woman, his life multiplies. He begins to do better. But when you marry a devil, it shuts down. So it's a different thing. So when you marry a good woman and you yourself, you're good, you take your license to God, the both of you, no judgment, Lord, we're here. We need the favor. You see things begin to open up for them. Please, can you marry a single mom? Atito, a question, please. Can you marry a single mom? So that's the last question we'll take, and I'm praying. Now let's go.
What a question.
So just
I
give you
see.
a grasp.
I've done once. See, I've been a single father, right? Before I married one, it didn't work. But I don't think it's a general. I can't use that as a judgment of everybody, right? So it's individual for each by each. Each person's character will determine
Yeah,
what
so it's not about
happens.
whether she's a single mom or not. The
No, I
character
don't
is
think
what you're
so.
going for. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me, Tito the Fire. God bless you. Thank you for making this time. I'll speak with you shortly after this live. Thank you for the insights. Leave the brotherhood that disagreed. And thank you. A lot of people were even agreeing with you. God bless you. To those who are trying to add me, I see that most time when I'm past 2 hours, it's just so impossible to accept new requests. So if you see me touching my screen so many times, I was trying to accept those requests to join me live, but it's saying unable to join, unable to join. So I believe that next time, next week, just join me. We'll have a beautiful topic to discuss about, like we do every Saturday. As you do so, God bless you. And
Thank
I want
you.
to just pray for everybody hurting. God is going to bind up those wounds and heal those hearts in the mighty name of Jesus. I don't know the challenges you're going through. I'm asking the Father in heaven to come into those, those challenges and help you take off that yoke in the mighty name of Jesus. Every attack that you're going through, we'll bind them. We cast those attacks. We command you to be free now in the mighty name of Jesus. And those who are still trying to make up their mind, marriage is for them. It is for you in the mighty name of Jesus. God will order your steps to the right places and to the right person in Jesus' name. Your economy, oh God, your finances this week is blessed. Oh, this weekend, some of you think it's already weekend, nothing. Blessings will come to you even in this weekend. Connections will come to you. You have enough money to bless people out there and to bless the work of God in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you again next week. God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Christian. We'll see you again. Bye-bye. All right.